4107.
Victims and first responders recount the horrors of a deadly stampede in India.
Indian authorities say massive overcrowding, insufficient exits and other factors contributed to a deadly stampede at a religious festival in Uttar Pradesh state, northern India, that killed at least 120 people. Police officer Sheila Moria, on duty at the event, was injured during the chaos. She says there was no space to keep our feet. People were moving out, stepping on others. Then suddenly people were falling. I tried to pick up some women. Sonu Kumar, a villager, helped the injured after the stampede, telling the AP some were breathing, some were not. They were in a terrible condition. I'm Charles Tulatesma.
The Taliban delegation to the third UN meeting on increasing engagement with Afghanistan has met with U.S. envoys on the sidelines. Two sides talked about two Americans currently imprisoned in the Central Asian country. Townhall.com. Former White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki will appear before the House Foreign Affairs Committee, a transcribed interview about the Biden administration's pullout from Afghanistan back in 2021.
Psaki, who now hosts a cable TV show, is expected to sit in for the interview on July 26th. She volunteered to speak to the committee after receiving approval from the White House. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chair Mike McCall of Texas has sought Psaki's testimony for 9 months as part of a wide-ranging probe into the Biden administration's exit from Afghanistan that ended America's nearly two-decade war in that country. Republicans argue that the manner of the pullout emboldened America's enemies and have pushed for President Biden and his most senior aides to be held accountable for the failure that resulted in what was 2 weeks of tumult. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
Untreated water used by a Florida cucumber grower, one likely source of salmonella poisoning, sickened nearly 450 people across the country in the spring. That's according to federal investigators. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
Yeah.
Kind of a Wednesday and Friday all at the same time.
It is. We've rolled it up into one.
Yes. We get, of course, 4th of July tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Then UFO Festival.
Yes.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And of course, Galacticon, Main Street Alien Fest, the stuff that's happening at the museum and Research Center.
Yeah.
Stuff all over Roswell.
Yeah. I just encompass it one UFO Festival.
UFO umbrella.
But happy Wednesday / feels like Friday to everybody else.
I know this probably isn't the forum for this, but I do have a small bone to pick with the city of Roswell. Well, not even necessarily the city of Roswell, but whoever they use to get their umbrellas that they give out. So I have.
I'm not familiar with the umbrella.
A couple of years ago, one of those pieces of swag in the swag bags was an umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
So really, I'm actually talking to like 2 or 3 administrations ago. I use this umbrella sparingly. It's great for blocking water, as one does. But recently, I had the thought, why don't I start taking this with me to the splash pad or to the pool to have some added sun protection?
Shade
yeah,
situation.
Right. Yeah. Here's the thing. The color scheme on the umbrella is such that any and all UV rays are going straight through that thing. So what ends up happening is I'm sitting inside of an oven. it's cooking me from the rays I'm getting from above me.
Ah.
Yeah, it was a not fun experience at the splash pad over the weekend.
You need to procure yourself a golfer's umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
One of those golfers, ginormous umbrellas.
Yeah.
You know the ones I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
You could fit like a small family under one of
A
those.
parasol, essentially.
That's what you need to procure.
Or just a good canvas umbrella. Something that's made of canvas.
Just carry a tent around with you. You just pop it up real quick.
Like for a second, I was like, I wonder if I put my towel over the umbrella, if that would help. And I'm like, that would just be really heavy.
Yeah, it would be. Well, unfortunately, they were probably thinking more of water displacement, not
in
sun
fairness, when I did get this, when I did procure this umbrella, it was around COVID time, so or maybe shortly thereafter. So it could very well be just a bad batch.
Could be, could be. We were busy making masks at the time.
All of our good materials going into N95,
Remember,
sir.
There was a time when we were filling liquor bottles with sanitizer.
Yeah. Glad that's the direction you went with that. I was going to go some other way entirely. But yeah, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I watched a thing a couple of days ago. It was talking about how Coors, the Coors company, had a line of spring waters that they tried to, bring to the market.
Yeah.
But they didn't license it under any name other than Coors Spring Water. So everybody assumed it was like a hard seltzer,
Right.
And the product tanked.
Is that good as that ranch water?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I would love to have been a kid
and
just gone to school and cracked open a can of
Right.
Coors Spring Water.
Yeah.
Had every teacher within,
I'm heading for the mountains.
within 30 feet just on me.
Yeah, that.
Then again, I was the kid that wore a Doral T-shirt to school.
Nice.
Because it was one that my dad procured through cigarette points.
I was about to say, is Doral miles or whatever? Because that was the time.
Well, it was Doral points. Each pack had a.
Because Marlboro had the lock on the miles.
Oh,
so
of course.
Every other
Camel had the
company
cash.
Yeah, and I'm guessing, and isn't that the end of the day? All of it, Philip Morris or R.J.R. Reynolds or anything.
Yeah.
Pretty much, they're all the same.
Yeah. It all falls under one conglomerate corporation. I was actually having this conversation with Greg earlier today.
Yeah.
Because he pointed out that a certain company is using the Illuminati as an ad campaign, as a ad source, essentially.
Gotcha.
And we kind of went down the rabbit hole of the Trilateral Commission and how all organizations kind of funnel back into one person's pockets. And
it's like,
how deep does your rabbit hole go?
Although we just lost him, the Super Size Me guy. That's
Yeah,
kind of,
Morgan
if you
Spurlock.
ever watched Super Size Me 2, that's kind of more what you're talking about
Is it?
there. The one's all about eating Big Macs and McDonald's food, but the second one,
Well, 'cause
he
there's-
owns his own chicken store and he
there's
goes
like-
at like Big Chicken and like it's all chicken. Doesn't matter where you get the chicken, it's all the same chicken.
There's like 3 or 4 farms that are
Yeah.
responsible for all of the chicken we consume. It's like Tyson, Foster Farms, Purdue, and there's
Yeah.
one other one.
But even them all get their chicken from like the same place. So it's all like one big chicken.
Big chicken. Taking on big clucks.
Speaking of Coors, I saw this on the internet either yesterday or the day before, and I thought this was interesting. Patrick Mahomes. You might have heard of him. Kind of a big deal right now.
Yeah.
Anyway, he has signed a marketing contract with the Coors people.
Okay.
Here's the rub. As an NFL player, an active NFL player,
Right.
he's not allowed to endorse alcohol.
Oh.
If you ever notice, current NFL players don't endorse alcohol products.
That's true.
If you look at Miller Lite ads and all these, it's always veterans, retired players. It's never.
Yeah, it was Refrigerator Perry was doing an ad campaign for him a while back. I think.
But that's post his NFL career.
Yeah.
So when they're currently and I didn't realize this till I was reading the article, but yeah, they're not allowed to as current NFL players. So Coors hired him. Here's how they worked around it. They had him film some commercials or do some stuff, and they're burying it in a vault. And they're making a campaign out of this. and that commercials will not see the light of day until he retires from the NFL.
That's kind of genius.
And then they're going to see the commercials.
So it's the Coors time capsule, essentially.
Exactly.
That's kind of a cool
It is.
Cool
It's
idea.
an interesting marketing, but I found it an interesting way to circumnavigate the NFL rules.
That being said,
even
going back a few years, it's weird to compare things.
Yeah.
Like, I've been listening to a program that's now in its 4th year in 2018. And the other day they were talking about this up-and-coming rising rapper who's really going places, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Do you remember that guy?
That name vaguely sounds familiar.
Kind of a big deal in 2018, and then he got popped on like child assault charges. And racketeering charges, and now he's facing like 30, or he's in like jail for like 30 years or something like that.
Oh, he made it.
Yeah.
His name is no.
But it's just like you go back and look at like some of the things that were said, just a few years ago that are just silly.
Did not hold
by today's standards. So you got to wonder on this campaign. It's like, hey, it's me, Patrick Mahomes, here in sunny US of A.
Right.
Nothing's ever going to go wrong here. Am I right?
And we see it, and it's like, basically, The Last of Us.
It's not like
not
like a sitting president's going to take matters into his own hands, knowing that he can legally.
Well, the zombies will get to see it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. That would be fun, though. See, what they should do with this campaign is plan for future scenarios.
Right.
Like, film a commercial where he's in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Or film a commercial where everything is sponsored by Domino's or something like that.
Sure. Or what's going to happen is, but before he retires, the NFL turns uber toxic and no one wants nothing to do with it, and so those things are worthless.
Right.
That'll never happen, I don't think, but that would, just my luck if I did something like that and turn, we're not going to need those now. I got Me Too'd or something.
Yeah, exactly. Mahomes makes one mistake, and they're like, we're going to keep these berries.
Yeah.
Turns out it wasn't worth it for us.
Yeah, that'd be my luck there. So
just do one whole campaign where it's like, brought to you by Carl's Jr. after everything he says.
But now I am oddly curious. I'm going to say 10 years because that's a nice round number. 10 years from now when Patrick Mahomes retires.
Sure.
Are we going to look at him like, wow, look how young he looks? Or like, because who knows in 10 years, maybe he doesn't have the young man's poofy hairdo anymore. He's more like 30s Patrick Mahomes. He's wearing like, a more conservative life haircut and he, getting off my lawn kind of mentality.
If anybody wants to know how quickly things can change from a physical perspective, look at Zac Efron's face.
Yeah, I've been seeing that stuff on the internet. I heard he had an accident.
Well, yeah, he did.
That's part of why he looks that way.
The story goes he was running through his house wearing socks. He slipped and slammed his face into a granite fountain. He said when he woke up...
I hate when I run into my granite fountain.
It's the worst. I mean, that is not a great way to start your Wednesday. But he said when he came to, like, his jaw was, like, hanging off his face. And so he had to have a bunch of reconstructive surgery.
So if he had the plastic Walmart kiddie pool out there, he'd be just fine.
And I guess one of the surgeries left his mandible area, the muscle that's used when you're chewing, it left it swollen. And that's what led to his, for lack of a better term, we'll call it Hasselhoff jaw.
Okay.
Because he does sort of have the other thing.
That's what got him his gig in Baywatch.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Because his strong chin. And his ability to slow motion run like no one else.
It's
that plus all his work for Iron Eagle. I guess it sort of like left his muscle groups kind of worked in different ways. And
Iron Claw.
Iron Claw.
So I kept going, time to die, Iron Eagle.
Sorry. Iron Claw.
Because you got me going.
That was the wrong decade even.
Well, I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, it's not Iron Eagle, it's Iron Claw. Because I'm going, time to die, Iron Eagle. In my head as soon as you said it.
I am already using my allotment of TP. But yeah, Iron Claw. It sort of messed with his muscle groups and kind of how he put muscle and weight on. So that sort of is the reason he aged 27 years and 5. But
that's true.
I'm just saying, 10 years from now, when he retires and those ads get unearthed, it could be very interesting to see what happens.
They look like Tom Hanks.
Just do one commercial with just standing landmarks, just so we have a record of them
That's right. Those you know how people do those timelines? They take a picture of themselves every year for their life.
Every day, yeah.
Put after 50 years, they put a thing up on YouTube about it. We need one of those.
There's always some dramatic moment right in the middle where it's like, okay, normal. Oh my God, what the hell happened? Yeah. And from that point, you're just that person.
Yeah.
You know? That's the
I want
new
to know
face.
who was smart enough 50 years ago to start this trend. Like, and knew there was a platform for it. You know what I mean? I would have never thought that far into the future.
You know what? Iona in the chat brings up a great point. She's like, he's squeaky clean for now. Imagine if Coors got a hold of OJ right at his prime.
Right?
He was squeaky clean.
Yeah,
he was the Hertz guy.
If we see Mahomes in a Bronco, which they have now, they're back.
Double homicide Mahomes.
There's Kelsey in the back of the Bronco.
No, it's still Al Cowlings back there somehow. Still just trying to talk him down. After OJ, it became my profession. I just sit in the back of Broncos and talk people down.
You can hire me. I have a Twitter page or a what's the
LinkedIn?
No, the one where they record messages for you.
Cameo.
Yeah. Check out his
Check me out on Cameo, $35 special.
Is that still a thing? Can you do Cameo?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
You didn't hear about? Oh, that's a story for when we have more time.
Okay.
George Santos started an OnlyFans.
Really?
Yes. And for more money, you can actually get Cameo. No, I shouldn't say. Yeah, he started OnlyFans, but he also started a Cameo. But for more money on the Cameo, you could actually get a cameo from his drag character.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. But then he went and started OnlyFans. So, dude slipped off the rails.
Wow.
That's really all I'm trying
On that note.
Yeah. Let's run down the show.
Needless to say, I don't think his course time capsule will get open anytime soon. Let me give you the rundown for today's show.
Martin Shkreli for Coors Light here.
We have the folks at the Roswell Chamber going to join us here in just a few minutes. Andrew and Gary Thriner here, so we'll chit-chat, get an update from them. In the 8 o'clock hour today, artist Greg Birch will join us and give us an update. He's got a few paintings. Of course, painting he did for Alien Walk. He's got a couple book covers that he's got some of his artwork on, and a few other Billy the Kid and Robert Goddard paintings, too, to update us on. So we'll talk about that with him in the 8 o'clock hour. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Crystal Noble with the Humane Society will join us, give us an update on what's happening over there. Of course, they did have a distemper outbreak, so there was some quarantining of dogs and things, so we'll get an update on all that from Crystal in the 9 o'clock hour, plus what else they've got going on, too. We'll do all of your features, hourly features, and include your news of the local, national variety, Wall Street business updates, and all that good stuff. Before we do any of that, though, let's take a gander at your weather. More chances of rain and hot, just like you like.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a batch of moist air coming through the area today. We'll be in the upper 90s to low 100s and a few scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Might get a shower till about midnight tonight. We'll drop into the mid-70s and then sunny and hot for Independence Day. Slim chance of an afternoon shower. We'll be in the low 100s. Friday, a few showers and cooler. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Getting around to it. That's an inside joke that I haven't even talked about yet, but it's just there. It just fell in my lap. Currently 76 degrees. It says light rain, but I don't see any of that right now. I think it's lying to me. Humidity's at 67%. Winds are currently out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. There is a 30% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. this afternoon. Otherwise, partly cloudy with a high of 99 today. Southwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. It's not even that windy today. Tonight, 20% chance at showers and thunderstorms before 9 p.m., otherwise mostly cloudy. 74 for an overnight low with south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Independence Day tomorrow, no talk of rain during the day. Mostly sunny, high of 101. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. They have slipped in a 30% chance at afternoon or evening showers and thunderstorms tomorrow night. So, I don't know. As wild as y'all are with some of the fireworks, that might not be a bad thing. Just saying. My God's way of tamping you down a little bit. But anyway, we do have a 30% chance of rain, partly cloudy, 73 for an overnight low with northeast winds at around 10 miles per hour. For Friday, I wish I had better news here, but we're looking at a 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon, partly cloudy, and a high of 90. So it's a little cooler. I guess that's a glass half full situation there. Northeast winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, we're looking at a 40% chance at showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, 69 for an overnight low. Saturday, 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon, mostly sunny and 94 for a high. 20% Saturday night, mainly before midnight, mostly clear with an overnight low of 70. Sunday, sunny and 100 for a high. 20% chance of rain Sunday night, and then Monday when you head back to work or enjoy more vacation for some of you, 20% chance of rain, mostly sunny, 91. So the good news is the rain. I said the good news is we're a little cooler. Bad news is looks like especially Friday our rain chances kind of pick up a little bit here. So maybe spend more time at Galacticon and the indoor activities during Friday's UFO Festival. So. All right, it is 7:24. We're going to take a 2-minute break, and then we're going to talk with the folks from the chamber on the other side. Don't go away.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
The Sermon on the Mount begins with what is often called the Beatitudes, or maybe another way to say it, the supreme blessings. The blessings that give the true path to God. Jesus takes the human concept of happiness and turns it upside down. The ultimate goal in life is not just the pursuit of happiness, it's the pursuit of God's rule. The first Beatitude reads, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Let's first talk about what poor in spirit is not. It has nothing to do with physical poverty. It has nothing to do with being sad or depressed. The person who is poor in spirit recognizes their spiritual poverty and recognizes that they must fully rely on God. It's a state of humility in the realization of the sinful state and complete dependence on the good grace of God. Isn't it a relief to know that we don't have to rely on our own strength, but can fully rely on the strength of our God?
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Check out some of the bargains you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select gallons of Food Club milk are $2.98 each, and select gallons of Panhandle Pure Lemonade or iced tea are 2 for $5. In produce, Texas cantaloupe are 2 for $3, and Washington red cherries are $1.97 a pound. In the meat department, pork spare ribs are 99 cents a pound, and 10-pound bags of chicken drumsticks are 39 cents a pound. These are just some of the savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Slugs have 4 noses, but no fingers to pick them. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It's 26 minutes after 7 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning from the Roswell Chamber of Commerce, Andrew Moore and Gary Thrine back with us. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. Thanks for having us, as always.
As always, appreciate it. And
yeah.
I'm just going to keep saying as always as many times as I can crowbar that in. I'm kidding. But, of course, busy weekend for Roswell here.
Yeah.
4th of July tomorrow. And, of course, that's more of our family day and stuff.
Oh, it is tomorrow. Oh, my gosh.
I know. But right after that, the city kicks in high gear, inviting thousands of out-of-towners and in-towners to come and enjoy
UFO
our weekend
Festival.
festival.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
And it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
The community has really come together to help plan it. Barbara Gomez and Juliana Halverson have spearheaded the UFO Festival Committee, and they have done a phenomenal job. So I really think that everybody's going to be pleasantly surprised this weekend because of all the hard work. And it's not just Barbara and Juliana, it is the entire community.
Absolutely.
The UFO Museum, the Chamber of Commerce, and all of
Daily
the other
Record,
Daily Record, all of these organizations and community participants are coming together, and it's going to be awesome. awesome. Galacticon is this weekend, so.
Matter of fact, because speaking of just the radio side of things, Clyde Lewis will be doing his show Friday night from the convention center. Woohoo! Ground Zero beginning at 8 p.m. our time, like he normally does, that you can always hear right here on 106.5. But he will be here throughout the weekend doing panel discussions. I think at Galacticon, at UFO. I think they've got him in a couple different places throughout the course of the weekend here. But for fans of his radio show, he will be doing it live Friday night at the convention center. So see that that just added here just because he really had panel discussions right around during his show. They were able to kind of finagle us around because they were just going to do a best of that night since he was actually doing panel
stuff
talks
around
and
town.
Stuff. But they finagle his schedule now so he can actually do his show live.
Oh
Friday
my gosh,
from here.
that'll be incredible. That'll be a draw. Go to the convention center and go listen to him, watch him do his show. It's actually pretty cool to watch those types of it really is, because I've gone to George Noory and Coast to Coast when they've done it before. We've had, I know way back in the day, Roswell Honda hosted a couple of radio shows, so to go and be there with them, it's not super exciting at 2:00 in the morning, but for me who's kind of a kook, it is.
Well, I'm a radiophile, so it was always a big deal for me.
Well, for me it was too, because I grew up listening to those people in high school and college, driving all over town. So to be able to sit there and watch Whitley Strieber and George Noory and actually have those interactions, I kind of geeked out.
And for me, and this is a bit nerd, but like I'm a huge fan of like Clyde Lewis's intro, like his music and the whole into the whole music, and he's got "This is the president." He does this whole
if you really pay attention to his intro, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. But I've always like listening to it on the radio, and then like when he first comes on, it always has the round zero, and then the music kicks in, and then he always starts his show with the "I'm Clyde Lewis, and this is Ground Zero," and and he always starts his show that way, and the first time I saw him do it live, like here in Roswell, I think it was the UFO McDonald's when we were sitting doing it. We did the show with you, and I ain't gonna lie, I got all tingly, and when he's sitting there in the McDonald's and the music kicks on, and goes, "I'm Clyde Lewis, and this is Ground." Just hearing it so many all over the radio, and it's kind of big, kind of cool for me.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get to experience that kind of thing Friday night. So
absolutely. And if you want a full schedule, a full list of what's going on this weekend, the Roswell Daily Record always does a fantastic job of publishing.
Tomorrow or Friday's paper they're putting it in. I don't remember which one.
I think it's tomorrow's.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember. It's either tomorrow or Friday's paper. They're putting the whole schedule.
The whole insert.
You can also find it online at UFOfestival.com.
No, UFO Festival Roswell.
Is it Roswell.com? I've been told both things, so I don't know. One will get you there. Just, if one doesn't look right, go to the other one. That's all I always say.
We'll post a link on our website as well, so everybody will be able to go check it out.
Yeah, so go there, and it's got everything, not only what Main Street Roswell's doing, but what's going on at Galacticon, what the Daily Record has with the film festival, what the UFO Museum's doing, everything that's encompassing this year's UFO festival, it's on that website. So you can plot and plan, and that way you say, well, I want to be at that panel thing at 2:00 at the Galacticon, but I want to miss what's going on the North Stage at 4:00, and so you can kind of plot and plan.
Exactly. It's going to be fantastic. And as long as we don't have torrential rain pours, it's going to be fine. In fact, the rain will be helpful. Bless you.
I've been fighting that sucker for 5 minutes.
It'll be helpful to have the rain because it'll just cool stuff down, it did the other day.
And when you see the events listed on the website, they also tell you which ones are free events, which ones have a cost to them.
You'll find a lot of free events because there's a lot of free stuff, and the stuff that does cost is pretty minimal or pretty, it require reservations or something like that. Which, again, website will tell you how to do all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So, don't hesitate. If you're lost and about, you can always swing by the chamber, and we can help you. If you need maps,
we'll direct you.
Well, and guide you around here. So tell your out-of-town friends and family if they get out and about, get turned around downtown, that we can help them navigate.
That's right.
And of course, as I always say, for the locals, be the ambassadors that we always are.
That's right.
When we got this many folks coming in town. They're going to be eating at restaurants and shopping in our shops and staying in our hotels and doing all that stuff. So if you see them and they ask, hey, where's a good place to get a burger around town or a good place to get a taco? You tell them where you like to get your tacos and burgers.
That's right. Most tourists want to go where the locals eat. They don't want to go to the chain restaurants or the touristy, quote unquote, places, or at least that's how my family operates when we travel.
But then again, some are different. Everyone's
Yes.
like, I will hit every McDonald's in the state of New Mexico, and that's a bucket list item.
Yeah, well, and to each their own. I'm not trying to say don't go to McDonald's or don't go to Arby's because they're
absolutely
all very good. But yeah, absolutely. Tell them your favorite place to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, if it is Arby's, then tell them it's Arby's.
That's right.
But yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Spread the love of your favorite places and things you like to do, and share that with them, and help your favorite businesses in town.
And then once you're done perusing and walking around for the UFO festival, go to RoswellNM.org, our website, and sign up for Leadership Roswell.
Yes.
It's that time of year again. We are accepting applications through
The end of the
July 31st.
Yeah, usually it's the end of July.
At 5 p.m.
Okay.
Because August 1st, we compile all the applications and they go to the selection committee, which the chamber is not on the selection committee. So if you do not make it or make it, it is not our fault. There's actually a panel of 5 people that sit and read every single application and grade them, and the top 30
It's an interesting
go.
process. I've been a part of it in the past. I'm not doing it this year, to my knowledge, but unless someone's about to tell me something. But
by the way,
it's very interesting. They have the points, and so because the way it's graded and everything, there's only 30 applicants that get into the class each year, and generally there's more than 30 applications every year. Some years we get as high as 60 or so.
Yes.
But what they do is obviously once you get the application, you understand the questions aren't multiple choice. These are thought provoking. They ask questions like, "What do you think Roswell's biggest needs are?" and they want. Or what do you think Roswell's biggest problems are? And they're not looking for one word answers like crime. Okay, crime. Elaborate on that. Why crime? Why is it? What's the biggest problems? Not enough Taco Bells. I mean, well, okay. Yeah. But they're looking for real answers.
And then it also asks, what would you do to change some of this stuff? How do you see yourself fitting into the community to be a positive influence?
Absolutely.
And then 5 people go and read every application and they grade them. And the top 30 vote getters, I guess, so to speak, or point getters, then get in.
And here's the thing, too. If you've applied in the past and weren't successful in getting in,
please apply again.
Your application does carry more weight if you're a repeat applicant. They do not like to turn people away multiple times. And so please, if you've applied in the past and got told you didn't make it, apply again.
Absolutely.
If you want tips, recommendations are always a good thing. If you have connections with certain leaders in our community, ask them to write letters on your behalf. Definitely does help your cause in those situations.
That's right.
I ain't gonna lie. That's how I got in. When you're a radio DJ and you know pretty much everybody, the mayor, city council, you just say, hey, can you write me a letter? And the next thing you know, I got my application looks like a phone book because I got like 10, 15 people.
And we already have 2 applications, and one of them did that.
Yeah.
Gave us a bunch of letters of recommendation.
By the way, a phone book is how we used to find phone numbers back in the day, kids, long before you just asked your phone.
That's right. It was in print, and you had to know how to roughly spell somebody's name.
And they came in 2 colors, the white pages for residential and the yellow pages for businesses.
That's right. And if you lived in a big city, you could use it as a booster seat a step stool.
Hey, if you lived in like really big cities, you got 2 of them. So I know, like towards the end, this is A through M, and then here's
A through Z. That was Denver. So if you, and also alumni of Leadership Roswell, if you had missed a particular class and you want to revisit it, or it's just been a long time since you've gone through the class and you're like, oh, I remember that Hospitality Day was really cool. I want to go back and see the hospitals, or you want to be a part of the tours. Reach out to us at the chamber because as an alumni, you get to go back and revisit any of those classes whenever you want.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's that class day where it's like, man, I always wanted to go. I didn't get to go to courthouse days. I never got to see the court. Okay.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, say, well, we'll tell you what month and find out. And
exactly.
It's usually, it kind of follows the same. So if it was around the same time when you did it.
If you want to go to Santa Fe, let us know. We'll make accommodations.
But
that would be the only time that there would be an additional charge for an alumni. Because they'd have to pay for their room.
Yeah.
But other than that, you're always welcome.
The fee for this year's fee to if you get accepted into the class is $1,000. That does include your Santa Fe trip and some of that stuff. That's where the cost comes in because some of that includes that.
Correct.
Don't forget, a lot of times employers will pick up that dime there, and I know if you do need scholarship help and things, that is on the application as well, too.
And we'll reach out to you.
And they'll reach out and help you out on that, too. So don't let the $1,000 be the hurdle. We can figure that kind of stuff out. We want to make sure if you're truly someone that should be in the class, we want to make sure you
absolutely, because there are scholarships available. Mm-hmm. And then once all the applications are in and you have said, yes, I would love to be a part of the class, when Rick calls you and says, hey, good news, then that's where I will contact you or Gary will contact you and say, hey, okay, let's set up some payment plans. Yeah. We can, and then here's how much of a scholarship.
We call it Invite Talent. We'll just suck it out in blood. No, I'm just kidding.
Whatever works. But it's a 9-month class. You meet one Friday a month for 9 months, with the exception of you do have a Monday, Tuesday in Santa Fe in January. And then in March, it's one Wednesday when you go to FLETC and you get to play with the guns and drive the cars and learn all about Border Patrol and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, when we go to there, we work to their schedule. They don't work to ours because they've got a lot more business going on. And quite frankly, not all of it is publicly viewable. So.
Exactly. So it is a commitment, but it's very well worth it because I'm an alumni. I know Mike's an alumni. Mm-hmm. And here in very short order, we're going to throw Gary through the program. And we'll all be alumni. And then once you're done with that, filling out your application this weekend, on Tuesday at 5:30 at Crossroads Church, which is located on the corner of Union and Country Club, is a community meeting with Vibrant and J.H. Holmes, all in regards to the possible expansion of Country Club Road and the Oaks development.
Okay.
So anybody that is curious or wants to know or have input on what is going on over there, it is 5:30 Tuesday the 9th, so next Tuesday, at Crossroads Church, and they really ask that the community be involved because they are looking for all of that information, and there will be representatives from both the city and the county.
Okay.
So that way, if you have any questions, because obviously if they're going to expand or do any improvements on Country Club is both in the city and the county. So
it kind of falls in both umbrellas there too. And I know, and I don't know how much of that, but that area, obviously the neighborhood and the construction going on right there near the church and all that, that's been something, the Mop and Brown Dentistry, all that's kind of relatively new real estate in the last 10 years or so in there. But I've also noticed, when they're doing the statewide, some of the major pipe renovations here with swapping out, they've done a lot of that work already over in that area.
Yes.
If you remember, a lot of country clubs, Sycamore, that whole area was tore up for a little bit, and they were laying the main waste lines and stuff. So I'm assuming when that work was done with the plans of making it bigger to allow for more housing / more whatever in that area. So I guess, are they really just, because I know a lot of it's residential, are they trying to delineate a line what part of it's residential, what are we going to keep commercial? Or
initially, what I was told is that there were eventually 800 homes roughly.
Yeah.
Now, that's not going to be tomorrow.
Sure.
Because I live over in that area, so I kind of freaked out at first. And they're like, it's not happening tomorrow. This is over multiple years, multiple phases. But they'd initially, their idea was also to put kind of like a gas station, maybe a little grocery store,
little shop-at type deal. Yeah.
But things obviously have been changing and been reworking since I had heard that was the initial plan, so I don't know if that's still the plan or things have changed. That's where...
Hence the meeting.
Yes, that's where go to this meeting on Tuesday at Crossroads Church, and of course, like I said, especially if you live in that area. Mm-hmm. So I've been talking to my neighbors. There's 8 of us on my street, and there's about 20-ish homes in that little area over where I live, and I've been trying to tell everybody.
I'm adjacent to that area. I'm more close to the hospital, but I'm not that far away either.
So, but go and ask the questions, be a part of it, and then get their information so you know what their plans are, because they want to be community friendly.
Absolutely.
They really do.
Absolutely. And quite frankly, that's been a rural part of Roswell and slowly it's been developing over the years. But I remember when I first permanently lived here around 2000, it looked way different out there. There was more orchards than structures out of that area.
It seems so far away.
Yeah. I mean, there was always the houses back there. But, But like that area where Crossroads Church, that wasn't even there.
No, that wasn't there.
That was just a field back then.
Exactly. And so to see all those developments, and we need the homes.
Yeah.
As we all know, we kind of are a housing desert. There's not enough homes for everybody.
Yeah. We're not Artesia bad, but at the same time, we need more housing.
Well, because my husband and I have talked about over the years, what happens if we move or built, where would we go if we sold our house? Well, there's not.
And
there's not a lot of options.
Part of ours is the lack of housing south of us too. There's a lot of people that work in Artesia but live here because they can't afford or find a house.
Correct.
In Artesia, or and vice versa. They're down at Carlsbad because they can't find a house in Artesia.
Correct.
And let's just face it, when oil's booming, Carlsbad, Hobbs, those areas, it's hard to get housing down there too.
Oh yeah. Well, when you know that the oil is going well, when you try to get a room down there. And a Holiday Inn is going for $200-$300 a night.
And there's man camps all over the place.
Exactly. And then the last thing I want to touch on before I give this over to Gary for his updates is, of course, we are all praying and helping Ruidoso with the fires and now the flooding, because when you have no grass and no trees and it rains, there's nowhere for the water to go.
Yeah.
We are trying to stay updated on our Facebook page for the chamber, as I am seeing things from the village of Ruidoso, from the updates from the fire Facebooks. I'm trying to like and share that, so anybody that has a residence up there, a business up there, or you just have friends and family and you're just trying to stay in the know.
Yeah.
We're trying to stay updated, but I am one person.
Sure.
So I don't always see everything. If somebody sees something that's pretty relevant that we need to make sure we're pushing out, if you'll just tag the Chamber of Commerce, I'll see it and I'll like and share it and we'll get it out there. But I'm trying to do a really good job, especially with the village of Ruidoso. Everything goes in there. First thing in the morning, I'll see what's going on. I like and share it onto our chamber Facebook page. So anybody that wants to know what's going on.
Very good. Yeah. And like we said, keep supporting, keep donating. I know a lot of, we still have a lot of churches and local organizations doing their thing to help out. Now that's still needed now more than ever, even though the fires and things aren't in the headlines like they were.
Correct.
A week or
and
so
the fires
ago.
Are 85% contained and I looked this morning right before I walked in here, as of this morning's update, they're still at 85% contained, both fires. And another thing, no more water, no more clothes.
They're good on those.
They are good on water and clothes. What people need now, if you really want to help with donations, they need pet food, cat and dog food. They need hygiene products, shampoo, soap, feminine hygiene products for the women. They need diapers for both children and adult of all sizes. Those are the types of things that they are really in need. They are golden on water and clothing because our community has really stepped
personal
up.
hygiene, personal care items, things like that. Your everyday stuff, your ablution things that you use to make yourself presentable every day. That's what they need. That kind.
Correct. And we do have posted on our Facebook page donation centers.
Excellent. Again, Roswell-nm.org.
Yes. No dash. Roswell-nm.org.
That's right.
If you do the dash, you're going to go to the city.
And it's .gov.
And
that's right.
They
no dash.
may have information, but I
I'm
they
so
may
bad
not.
at websites. I'm always like Roswell something.
Well, if you just put Roswell Chamber of Commerce, we're going to pop
that's what
up.
I do. I Google everything. I'm
Yes.
like, the city of Roswell one I don't because I say it so much that it's just ingrained. Big Brothers Big Sisters is ingrained in my head, weirdly enough. But like the chamber one or
RoswellNM.org.
I just get Roswell Chamber, Chamber, and I go.
So-
or I'm on Facebook and I click the link directly.
So with that, what's going on in our membership, Mr. Membership Director?
We are just having a great 2024. It's really exciting. We've got lots of new members. In the last month, we've added 5 new members. We've Roswell Midday Lions.
All right.
T-Mobile, which Tuesday, yes, we have the thing out at the church to discuss the housing edition.
Mm-hmm.
But earlier in the afternoon at 2:30 at the Sam's Club T-Mobile location, we have a ribbon cutting as they have just joined the chamber and they want to have a ribbon cutting.
And that one's a double bonus because after you're done ribbon cutting and there's usually cake and stuff, you're at Sam's Club, so you can wander around and get all the free samples and
There
get
you
the
go.
hot dog and pizza and everything.
Pretzel.
Yeah.
We have affordable solar group, and before everybody gets excited about the residential, they're not really geared towards residential. They are geared towards commercial and agriculture.
Okay.
Because my understanding is there is a grant that comes down from federal through the states that helps take care of agriculture and commercial solar incentives.
Okay.
And so they're trying to make sure
So they're
those folks
focusing on those properties taking advantage
and
of
they
those
are
incentives.
a remote member. Again, we do have a remote membership for folks that don't have.
We always say if you do business in Chavez County, whether you live here or not, it's behoove you to be a member of the chamber. So.
And then we have Game Day USA that we had to postpone their initial business after hours, but it's going to get rescheduled. But so that will be coming very soon.
What kind of do they do? Like computer games or board games or all the above? Or
I have not been inside there yet. I just know that they do, and they're right next. They have a laundromat right next door, and so.
Okay. Is that Uncle Sud's there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Next to
That's,
Uncle Sud's on
that's
Sunset.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's his place is awesome. It's you want to play like Donkey Kong. Pool. He's got a little bar in there with snacks and everything. Oh, it's like a little it's like a little escape to even 80s land because it's like if you were like the king of the centipede, he got you covered.
Well, the hold up on the business after hours, I guess they are remodeling the kitchen.
Okay.
And they wanted to make sure that was all done.
Oh,
and
that's a
everything.
cool place.
So,
I can't wait till that's
It'll
ready
be
to go.
fantastic.
And then we have the Roswell Flute Ensemble that has joined.
They're a great group of people. They're always looking for new members too.
And we have new members that are getting ready to join. That are planning on joining, and so July is going to be an exciting month as well. But getting back just a little bit, the fires the city really pulled together.
Yes.
And I can say that because I sat there manning the phones there at the chamber, fielding all the calls because, of course, everybody calls the chamber to find out.
We're a source of information. Absolutely.
What can we do? Where can we do it? And we had all of the signs and everything on our front door so people could, if we weren't there, they could come by and see the phone numbers and who to contact for whatever, for
Maybe
cattle.
That answers their questions or why they came.
For the animal relocations and stuff like that. But everybody stepped up. We had churches that stepped up and consolidated for folks. And then we had the National Guard stepped up, and they became a resource to take food and goods to and everything. So that was, I loved seeing how Roswell pulled together during that week. And that was just
Poor
an
Gary,
amazing
he was
week.
there by himself. That happened to have been my vacation time. And who knew that was going to happen?
You got to pick better times.
Well,
the same thing happens to me.
I should have known because without fail, every time I go out of town, something happens in Roswell.
And this all went down right when I got in town. Like I was getting into town and like, oh, Ruidoso's burning. There's a train wreck in Dexter. And I'm like, what's
it was
going
like,
on?
What? The apocalypse is happening.
But it was really good. I love seeing how Roswell came together. And like I tell everybody, I've been here since 2001. And this is the longest I've lived anywhere in my life because I've spent 24 years in the military.
Yeah, you tend to move around.
Yeah, exactly. And so this is home. And so I really love seeing how Roswell pulled together for that. And the members all pulled together. It's just fantastic seeing how everything works. And and the chamber is able to help people out and bring people together.
Absolutely.
So I really enjoyed that.
I would sit on my phone on vacation and find stuff, and then I'd send it to Gary, and I'm like, here, print this up, post this. I got and he's like, what? Whoa, oh my gosh.
And if people are still needing stuff, please don't hesitate to reach out to the chamber. We can help be that
That's
conduit.
right. Because we may have a phone number that nobody else has or knows something.
And if we don't know the answer, we will definitely look for it and find it for you.
Turn over the leaves to find the answer.
That's right. That's one thing I've always been my policy. If you ask me a question and I don't know the answer, I'm not going to tell you something just to tell you something. I'm going to find out the answer and get back to you.
That's the military mindset.
Exactly.
It should be everybody's mindset, quite frankly.
But they kind of beat it into you. Well, not physically. But you know what I mean.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. I'm married to a Marine. Yes, they do.
Really excited for this holiday weekend coming up, that everybody's going to have a great time. And then next week, when it's back to business as usual, by all means, if you've been teeter-tottering on whether or not you want to join the chamber, give me a call, and I will explain all the benefits you have coming to you and,
absolutely,
and what it is that we can do for you and help you out.
That's right.
The biggest thing is getting you out getting you and your organization out in front of the rest of the city and the surrounding area, so that
and small businesses can utilize it in a certain way, and larger businesses in a different way, and we work at both levels.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
The mom and pop, where your employees are you. Versus the Fortune 500 company with thousands of employees. We can help either one.
That's right. We're all helping each other because at the end of the day, we are a community. We're a small town. And so, in my opinion, we're family.
Absolutely.
And that's where we're trying to help. And as long as we, as the chamber, can help you prosper, start your business, and then stay in business, that's our goal. That's our mission.
And when all the businesses are flourishing, the whole town
Absolutely.
and is a lot better.
And, we've got a bright future.
And we also have a business after hours coming up on the 25th at Lux Living. There's also going to be a ribbon cutting, so it's going to be like a grand opening and ribbon cutting. They've done some remodeling, and that's on North Pennsylvania, and that'll be at 5:30 on the 25th and go till 6:30 in the evening. And for those of you that like to go help out the organizations and do the Dine to Donate, I got to put a plug in for my Red Coats. We are doing a Dine to Donate at Texas Roadhouse on the 16th.
Okay.
From 3 to 10 p.m.
So bring your flyer.
So bring your flyer. We'll get flyers out and bring your flyer and say, hey, I'm here to eat and I want to help support the Red Coats. And we will definitely
We'll have it on our
that.
website and all of our social media. Yeah. Because you won't have to necessarily have a paper flyer.
Right.
For those that are tech savvy, we'll have it where they can just pull it up.
And I believe it even works if you order online through the app, whatever.
I think so.
And you just got to, when you pick up your food, show the flyer or the digital or whatever of it, so they can count it toward the Red Coats.
Because that'll help our Red Coats. We like to try to do something extra special, a minimum of twice a year, have a Christmas and kind of a summer shindig for our Red Coats. And this helps them. And then once again, there is a cost to be a Red Coat, and so we're trying to build up that kitty to help defray some costs for them as well.
Being classy costs money.
Not only do the Red Coats come and help you celebrate the opening or reopening or grand reopening of your company or organization, but they basically volunteer their time to do that. So it's a great way to get out and meet people. And so anybody that's thinking about becoming a Red Coat, by all means, contact me at the chamber. Absolutely. And I'll get you an application. I know we have some applications coming in because I was just speaking to a couple of merchants in the last few days saying, we're going to get that application in because we've got some folks that want to be Red Coats.
Yes, it's a fun networking opportunity.
And if you're a gentleman, we would really, really, really love for you to have your application.
As I so fondly say, we need some more testosterone.
All right, very good. Hey, if there's any single retirees out there looking for some friendships,
there you go.
Look snazzy in the Red Coat.
It's not a dating organization now.
What happens in the Red Coats stays at the Red Coats. I'm just saying.
It's kind of like meeting new people at church. Could be a good place to meet
a sassy single.
Exactly. All I'm saying.
And if you've been thinking about doing something but just haven't gotten around to it, stop by the chamber, and I will give you a round to it.
There you go.
We've got some round to us at the chamber now.
That's right.
Excellent. I just saw the time. We better wrap this
Oh, yes.
up. Of course, if you have any questions about anything, don't hesitate to come by the chamber. Go online.
575-623-5695 or roswellnm.org, or come on in and we'll help you out. Leadership Roswell applications due July 31st at 5 p.m. So
get them on the website. You can get your applications.
That's right. And I get an email, and it's super simple.
Right. roswellnm.org. There you go. No dashes. All right. 7:57. We don't dash around here. Close on 7:58. Quick break before we get you in the news. Don't go away.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We've been waiting on some baseball all-state selections, and now we have some of them. Not all of them, but we have some. For Class 4A, for instance, Goddard had several players selected first or second team. How about the first teamers? Ryan Alsop for the Rockets. He was selected at pitcher, 9-0 with a 1.73 ERA, but he also hit at a .455 clip with 30 RBIs. Terrific. All-around player? In fact, he's the player of the year in Class 4A. Tyler Conrad, pitcher for the Rockets, 8-2, 2.22 ERA. He's a second-team selection. Ross Stokes in the infield, first-team selection, 3.47 average. Jonathan Silva, first-team outfielder, 375 average, and Cinco Holloway at catcher was picked second team. He hit at a 412 clip with 5 homers and 33 RBIs. The sports report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
Oh! Shooters, mark your calendars for the H.F. Sinclair 3rd Annual Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range, benefiting the Artesia FFA. Main event is Saturday. Registration at 7 a.m. 1 in 4 participants win prizes, gun boards, raffles, and lunch included. There's an option Friday night light shoot with $40 individual rounds. Details and registration info at artesiachamber.com. Deadline is July 1st. The 3rd Annual H.F. Sinclair Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Sigmund Freud once believed that cocaine could be used to help treat a morphine addiction.
Correspondent Josh Boak says Democrat calls for Mr. Biden to quit the White House race are getting louder.
Texas Representative Lloyd Doggett became the first sitting member of Congress to say that Biden should step aside on Tuesday. And former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has opened up the options for a debate on that issue. What's going on? First and foremost, the Biden campaign tried to assure donors and voters over the past weekend. They held calls, they had fundraisers, they had meetings, and many participants walked away feeling as though there wasn't a clear path forward. They didn't see how Biden could overcome his performance and concerns about his age.
Colorado Democratic congressional candidate Adam Frisch is also urging Mr. Biden to step aside. He tells the BBC that, in his opinion, neither candidate is fit for the presidency.
We need a president that can unite America to realize our nation's unlimited potential. We deserve better. President Biden should withdraw from this race.
Mr. Biden admits almost falling asleep on stage last week. The number of Americans filing for unemployment benefits edged higher last week. Labor Department reports it claims rose 4,000 to 238,000, up from 234,000 the previous week. Nearly 90 million Americans are under extreme heat advisories. Forecasters blame a ridge of high pressure just off the west coast, as well as a separate ridge that has spawned heat warnings and advisories from Kansas and Missouri to the Gulf Coast states. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
An official national day of recognition in Brazil for the late Pelé, the country's all-time greatest pro soccer player. He died a couple of years ago.
King Pelé Day, as it's being called, will be celebrated annually on the 19th of November. On that day, in 1969, he scored the 1,000th goal of his career. It took place in Rio's Maracanã Stadium while playing for Santos. Pelé became known as the King of Football after helping Brazil win their first World Cup in 1958 when he was only 17 years old. Pelé went on to win 2 more World Cup titles with Brazil, gaining the admiration of people across the world, not only for his unequaled skills, but also for his dedication, passion, and sportsmanship.
The BBC's Leonardo Russia. Voters in the UK are set to cast ballots in a national election July 4th, passing judgment on British Prime Minister Sunak's 20 months in office. News and analysis, townhall.com. Another update on the employment situation.
The good news, the job market is still strong. There's a job for every unemployed American, but not as many jobs as there were in January of last year. Still, job openings rose slightly from April to May to just over 8 million. But layoffs have been rising a little. The number of Americans quitting their jobs is basically unchanged. And although there are 1.2 jobs for every unemployed American, that's down from a 2-to-1 ratio in January of 2023. Still, economist Robert Frick at the Navy Federal Credit Union says the Labor Department report is another sign that the labor market is holding firm. I'm Rita Foley.
U.S. wildlife officials embracing a contentious plan to deploy trained marksmen into dense West Coast forests to kill almost 500,000 barred owls in the coming decades. The goal to help spotted owls survive. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The dude.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. Feels like Friday, but it is actually Wednesday.
Every day this week has felt like Saturday to me.
Yeah, it's just a weird week with the holidays, UFO Festival. Nothing seems routine this week. So no one's schedule's like right, I don't think. Everyone's
exactly
in either vacation mode or I've got a million things to do because UFO Festival and everything's this week mode, or, you know, I feel like there's 2 types of people right now. Either people with nothing to do or people with a million things to do.
No,
So
I think everything's hitting us all at once this year.
So I hope the people that have nothing to do are enjoying it. And the people that have a million things to do, that it goes swimmingly well.
Yep.
That's kind of where are at here. Of course, with the UFO Festival kicking off Friday here, there's lots going on. If you go to the UFO Festival website, you can see the whole list of all the stuff going on for 3 days. Not only with the Main Street stuff downtown here, but stuff going on at Galacticon, stuff going on also at the Convention Center with the Daily Records Film Festival, the UFO museums, panel speakers, and various events and things for the weekend. All of that is on the UFO Festival website there, ufofestival.com, and getting all that stuff done. Also want to mention, while you're doing your UFO Festival stuff, that the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico will be having special hours during UFO Fest and 4th of July weekend here. The Historical Society Museum will be open for come-and-go traffic this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, 1 p.m. through 4 p.m. during UFO Festival. So you can swing on by the Historical Society there on Lee Street and come by, and they'll be doing tours. Normally what they've been doing pretty much since COVID is doing it by appointment. You call and schedule a time, and they'll come and do a tour for you.
Mm-hmm.
But with the weekend, the UFO Festival, we got a lot of out-of-town folks. We've got enough volunteers to man the forts from 1 to 4 p.m. each day during UFO Festival. So if you'd like, come on by when you're out and about doing all your UFO Festival stuff. If you've never had a chance or it's been a while since you've been to the Historical Society of the J.P. White House, please come on by and check it out and go for a tour and see what it's all about. Also, Walker Aviation Museum will have special hours during UFO Festival as well. Normally they work around the flying schedule for American Eagle out at the airport, but this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they will have daytime hours out at the museum there. If you go to wafbmuseum.org, you can go to their website and see their hours and donate and see all that they're about there too. So good stuff there. So a couple other things that are going on along with UFO Festival weekend here, just to put on your radars.
What's that again?
So the Walker Aviation Museum, they're going to have special hours during UFO Festival. They'll be open. Normally they're only open during flying schedules at the airport. They're going to be open during the day here, special hours Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Also, the Historical Society will be open from 1 to 4 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The J.P. White Home Museum will be open for tours and everything during that time. Just come and go. You don't need an appointment. You just we have docents and volunteers that will be there to get everybody through from 1 to 4 each day. So.
And you can do what exactly at the Walker Air Force Base?
If you've never been to the museum, it's going to be open, so you can tour it and see all the cool stuff they've got, and participate in some of their STEM stuff. Like the kids, they got the Jacob's Ladder and all that stuff. They have a flight simulator there too. They got a lot of cool stuff. So,
okay.
So you definitely want to go there and check it out.
Okay.
It's at the airport.
just to clarify, for people.
Yeah, it's at the airport there, but definitely want to check that out. So that's just a couple things on top of that, but definitely there's so much going on this weekend. Find your things you're into and get out there and do it. Have some fun this weekend. Take the family out. There's lots of stuff that's free for families, stuff that has minimal cost. It kind of runs the gamut here. So definitely get out there. And, of course, tomorrow, celebrate your Independence Day responsibly. If you're out lighting fireworks and stuff, be courteous to your neighbors. Be safe.
Yes.
We would love to have a day free where everyone starts the day with 10 fingers and 10 toes and ends the day with 10 fingers and 10 toes. That's what we're hoping for.
Idealistically, yeah.
Yes. So please be safe out there. I'm very thankful we're getting moisture. I'm hoping, that because as dry as this area is and all that stuff.
It's better than fire.
Some of the moisture we've been getting, I'm hoping that when we do have the few hold my beer people out there with their fireworks, they do minimal damage because we've got moisture. So, and there's rain chances tomorrow night, so we'll see how that works out too.
Yeah. Also, PSA: if you're doing fireworks, please try to do them before midnight. Some people, not everybody has the day off on the day after July 4th.
I never fall asleep before 1 a.m. I think on 4th of July night. There,
Some people do it like at 3 in the morning.
Oh yeah, I hear them all night. I'll be 1, 2 in the morning. I'll still hear the whistling and sounds like
some
mortar
of us
fire.
still have jobs in this life.
Yeah, and the other one too. Stick with the fireworks, not the firearms. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Don't be shooting your guns in the air and all that, because what comes up must come down.
Yes,
that's just science, folks. You shoot a bullet in the air, it comes down somewhere.
Yeah.
So don't be that person. All right, just keep the guns in the holsters. Stick with the fireworks, okay?
If you got to build your own firing range or whatever, and find someone else to shoot at.
In the air is not safe.
Also, if you're famous and you're a celebrity too, come. The Galacticon is this weekend. And
there you go.
Come sell yourself.
Well, you're going to be at your gaming area this weekend, right?
Yes.
So, what hours are you going to be out there?
Just pretty much all day, just like 12 to 6. 12,
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And Sunday, I think they close at 4. So so 12 to 4.
Nice. So look for Roy and all the gaming folks, and they've got tabletop games, your computer and. Console games, things like that. Yeah,
I'll probably be up on a projector, so you probably can't miss it.
Okay,
it'll be just like Street Fighter.
And you're focusing more on the console game stuff, right? The Street and you're doing like fighting tournaments and things like that. But for you board gamers too, that's all going to be there too. So
yeah, the guy who owns Frost Giant Games and Lanes, the new gaming lounge, he's helping Matt do the board games and the tabletop over there.
So they're doing everything from D&D to board games you never heard of, so invented games, and to probably some of your classics too. I gotta imagine there's somebody who'll be playing like the Game of Life or Monopoly or Risk or something. There's got to be.
Oh, it's very popular here in town.
Absolutely.
Like every time I see tabletop stuff going on, there's always like the crowd.
My experience with the game Risk, you better start that game Friday, because it might end by Sunday if you. Those tend to go a while.
You're carrying the board with you everywhere, like,
That's right.
like Kramer from Seinfeld.
I had 12 armies on that one, not 10.
Yeah. The Ukraine is weak. Everyone can conquer the Ukraine.
Right. I always get stuck with Australia. It's like the smallest one. But that could take a while. So get there early for that. But
does anyone like Stratego? I have Stratego.
or the Stratomatic football. You remember that thing? You're probably too young.
No.
It's basically it was like it was in the dawn of when electronics met board games. And they had these little football figure guys on this football field that vibrated. It vibrated, and so they kind of moved around, and that was about it. That was pretty much all you could do with it. But people had them, I defy people that could actually play a football game with it. But okay,
the vibrating parts sound interesting.
Yeah, I'm sure it got used for other things probably instead of actually football, but. They were around for a bit. I believe the maker of lawn darts made them.
Well, no, like I'm just thinking of the Nintendo 64, how it added the rumble pack and stuff, and how it just, it made the game feel a lot more intuitive, having the game vibrate and
now
the controller vibrate.
Now that's standard operating for you. Buy like any Microsoft Xbox joystick or whatever. It usually has a rumble thing in it. That always freaks me out when I'm playing like Grand Theft Auto or something. The next thing is, why is my hand vibrating? Because my car got in an accident. Anyway, artist Greg Birch going to join us this hour. He's got an update for us. He's got a few paintings that he's donated. One for the Alien Walk. He's got a couple book covers. He's got some artwork on, and so he got some more Billy the Kid and Robert Goddard paintings. He's got out and about doing his thing. So we'll get an update from Greg here in just a few minutes.
He's got a new painting today.
Cool. Yeah,
for us.
He's always got new paintings. Man paints. That's what he does.
Let them cook. Let them paint.
That's right. But so we'll get an update from Greg here in just a few. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for today's show. Before we do anything else, let's take a gander at that rain or that weather. Rain is in the forecast. A little hot, a little bit of everything.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a batch of moist air coming through the area today. We'll be in the upper 90s to low 100s and a few scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Might get a shower till about midnight tonight. We'll drop into the mid 70s and then sunny and hot for Independence Day. Slim chance of an afternoon shower. We'll be in the low 100s. Friday, a few showers and cooler. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, 79 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 58%. Winds currently out of the southeast at 10 miles per hour. We do have a 30% chance for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms. They're talking after 3 p.m. this afternoon. Partly cloudy and a high of 99 today with southeast winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, our chance of rain is at 30%. They're talking showers and thunderstorms isolated mainly before 9 p.m. So like 3 to 9, our sweet spot sounds like. Mostly cloudy, 74 for an overnight low with south winds at around 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Independence Day, during the day, no talk of rain, just sunny skies, hot, 101 the high on Thursday tomorrow. South winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, we are looking at a 30% chance at showers and thunderstorms. Good news is they're talking after midnight. So if you're probably going to be out shooting off fireworks, probably okay there. Just don't, burn down the town, please. Try to avoid that one. I'm not going to sit here and debate on whether it says caution or warning on your fireworks. You do you on that, but just be mindful you have neighbors. And by the way, not all of us enjoy fireworks at 2 a.m. Just saying, 9 to about 11, anything after that, you're getting into the rude territory. So be mindful of that. And, and of course, if your neighbors have a bunch of dogs and things, be mindful, be considerate. Say, hey, we're about to shoot these off. Your dog's skittish, be neighborly. That's kind of a good thing to do. But anyway, rain talk after midnight tonight here with a 30% chance of rain. Now for Friday, I wish I had better news because it is day one of UFO Festival, but they're talking a 50% chance at showers and thunderstorms on Friday for the afternoon. Partly cloudy and a high near 90, a little cooler, which we'll call that a blessing. 90 is not bad for July 5th in Roswell, New Mexico. Winds out of the northeast at around 10 to 15 miles per hour. 40% chance of rain Friday night. Mostly cloudy, overnight low of 69 degrees. Below 70. That's weird, too, for an overnight low. That's kind of 69 on Friday night. Saturday, 30% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Sunny and 94, so pretty manageable temperature-wise on Saturday, too. 20% chance of rain Saturday night. Hopefully doesn't impede light parades and all that kind of thing. Mostly clear otherwise with an overnight low of 70. Sunny and 100 for your Sunday. 20% chance of rain Sunday night. Mostly clear otherwise with the overnight low of 69. And then looks like we'll be floating in the low 90s, 91, 92, with 20% chances of rain for like Monday and Tuesday of next week. At least that's what they're saying right now. It is New Mexico weather, probably change between now and then, but that's what they're saying right now. All right, it is 8:21. We're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and then Greg Birch will join us, and we'll chit-chat all things Greg and paintings and all that up next. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support? Clear. With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
It's time for the 88th Annual Lee County Fair and Rodeo, August the 2nd through the 10th in Lovington. Come to the Lee County Fair for the greatest entertainment in New Mexico. August the 2nd, it's the annual Hispanic Heritage Celebration featuring Eric y su grupo Mazore and Los Tigres del Norte. Tuesday, August the 6th, after PRCA Extreme Bulls, it's country legends, the Bellamy Brothers. Wednesday, August the 7th, Faith and Family Night featuring Casting Crown. Nobody but Jesus. Thursday, August the 8th, it's Tough Enough to Wear Pink Night with Joe DiMaria. Heads Carolina, tails California. Friday, August the 9th, celebrate America's heroes with Justin Moore.
This is my dirt.
Saturday, for Volunteer Appreciation Night, it's country superstar Kane Brown. Baby, I swear I can feel it in the air. Log on to LeeCountyFair.net for tickets and more information. Don't miss the 88th Annual Lee County Fair and Rodeo, August the 2nd through the 10th in Lovington. 88 years of tradition.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The Goodyear Rubber Company researched and concluded that shoes wear out faster on the right foot than on the left. To fix this, just walk backwards for half the day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, the man who makes my room look more and more beautiful every day. Artist Greg Birch is back with us. Morning, Greg. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, sir. I'm doing good.
Of course, for folks not familiar, Greg is our local artist. He's been on our show a bunch of times, and actually started just a fan of the show. Really, he listened but he's a man who does a lot of artwork. I mean, that's his day job, but he also that's kind of you're giving back to the community. You constantly, like, if odds are pretty good if you go to a museum anywhere in town here, there's a Greg Birch somewhere lurking around there.
Somewhere. The guy that loves to aggravate you, right?
But it's great to have Greg back. And, of course, Greg, the artwork he's donated, given to me and talked about. So we love to. And, of course, now we're starting to see more and more Greg's artwork on things that aren't hanging on walls, too, with art. You've got almost a stable of artists or of authors now that you're kind of doing artwork and cover artwork for.
Yes, sir.
And it's all everything from sci-fi to Old West to stuff in between. You kind of got the complete the whole color scope there of cool things to do on that. So.
Yes, sir. Mr. Lee, of course, He allowed me to do his book cover.
Yeah, and for his second book, yeah.
Yes, and I know that he wanted to get over here to the Galacticon with it, and hopefully he gets to.
I think he's locked in to do it, so it mattered just logistically getting him over there to the convention center.
And hopefully it all works out. I was given a few messages this morning before I came in, but last year I got to do a couple of T-shirt signings. And the lady that came from Australia, she's coming back again this year, but nice. She's bringing 3 friends with her.
Oh, cool.
And they started getting into my artwork and liking it, so they're coming. So I get to do some more T-shirt signings and stuff this year.
Excellent.
So starting Friday, I'll be out and about, and I'll be able to do a few more T-shirt signings this year. So that's going to be fun, and hopefully I can get over there to the Galacticon, and hopefully Mr. Lee's there. And
maybe catch sign a few book covers while you're there, too, for folks there.
Just be there to push him on and say, rah, rah.
Yeah, well, Lee's new in this world. He's kind of doing it, and to be honest, he was apprehensive to be in Galacticon. Between me and Jen, we kind of
pushed him into it.
Do this. What do you? Because he's like, I've sold 18 books so far, and he was happy, and I'm like, dude, you can sell way more than that if you just got to be put in front of an audience that would be into that. And Galacticon's about you have sci-fi books.
Push it.
You're full of a room of sci-fi people.
Exactly.
I'm not a marketing genius, but come on now.
And I wish that I had that book here. and to show it off, but I haven't got that book yet. Cindy Sloan Butts, I just done that historical book for her, which was the Holocaust in the Netherlands. Those books, they take a lot out of you.
Well, yeah, those are dealing with some pretty. I mean, it's the Holocaust.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, you can't do a story about the Holocaust without breaking a few eggs on this one. It's just it's going to hit the feels, and you're going to see things that because it's just so hard to wrap your head around what took place during that era.
Just the number of people,
and it's hard to fathom what humans are capable of sometimes, and so it's tough to get through.
Yeah, and that I posted some history and the book cover on there.
And I imagine, because as an author, it's got to be, to write it to get it. But as an artist, you're capturing the whole feeling of the book in a picture.
Yep.
And so
have you gotten to see have you gotten to see it yet?
I don't think I've seen that one yet. I've
It's a guy and he's behind the fence.
Okay.
With the barbed wire.
No, I have not seen that one yet.
It is. I hope personally and truthfully that Jewish families, people that had people that was in these camps, that hopefully the book cover done justice.
Sure.
For it, for the story.
It's to tribute, not to
take away
or to exploit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And hopefully the book cover gives enough meaning that when people see it, that it's like, wow.
Sure. Wait, because you wanted to hit home. You wanted to hit home. And let's face it. Anytime we do books and things on that period of time and that era, the point of we do these books is that historical side. Why do we study history? So we're not doomed to repeat it. This is why we put these out there. This is why this stuff's out there, so people can read it, understand what happened, and hopefully know not to repeat those mistakes in our future.
And just like that Holocaust story, there's enough authors out there, okay, that I'm not saying that they don't do their research, but it's like they get the first little tidbit and they want to go to press with it.
Well, that's
instead of doing the whole research.
That's our whole media problem right now.
Yes.
And part of it, I mean, I'll give you lots of reasons why that is, but one of many ancillary reasons is the internet and the way we access information. We've gone from a society of getting it right to getting it first.
Exactly.
And they're willing to sacrifice the right part to get it out first. And unfortunately, that is a dangerous cocktail when you're trying to do good in the world.
and see, that's like, well, I would dare say historians like me, Jason Young, Brandon Dixon, and one of the best ones that we lost, which was Drew Gomber. You get tidbits from people, and it's like they all of a sudden they want to make the story, and it's okay, but you've only got a piece of the story,
right?
You don't have the whole archaeological fact, of these things, and so. That's where you have to go in and kind of clean up the mess, if you want to say.
And that's really, especially, and fortunately, unfortunately, I don't know how you because of a lot of what your work is a lot of history here in New Mexico, the Wild West history, and unfortunately, most of that recording of that history is personal eyewitness accounts, and you have to take sometimes with a grain of salt the source at which it came from.
Exactly.
If it came from a person that was trying to create a story, there's probably a lot of embellishments there. If it's more out of a letter on someone's deathbed, more than likely there's probably some more truth in that little nugget of information.
Exactly.
And so that's where a lot of that history is going, and that's where you have to do your digging to recreate some of these buildings or places that technically don't exist anymore.
Exactly. And so that being said, New Mexico, don't get mad, all right? But I've got a painting right now. I was sent the oldest known photograph of the Alamo, and the painting the picture is deteriorating, so I'm doing a painting of it.
Okay.
Now I would like to bring it onto your show, of course, and let you see it. So yes, I am doing one for the Alamo down in San Antonio.
Does it look way different than what we see today?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Unfortunately, what we see today is a historic building that's right in the middle of a city. And so
there again,
it loses a lot of its
luster.
Yes, yeah.
And there's some history that I didn't even know about that was sent along with it. So that one there, I've got some things going on right now, so that kind of got moved back.
Yeah.
But
so it's pretty safe to say that Jim Bowie and all those guys, if they walked into the Alamo today, they probably wouldn't recognize it.
They would recognize it. We would.
Okay. I mean, if they walked into today's version of it.
If they walked into today's,
they would probably not recognize it.
They was like a gift shop?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't remember a Hard Rock Cafe right over here. Whatever.
Exactly.
I'm just making up a restaurant. I haven't been there in a while.
But let's see. Yeah, I've got that one. And now back in New Mexico, I've got the old train station in Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Okay.
That one hopefully next month.
Okay.
Sometime I can get that one up there. It's going to hang forevermore. They're just tickled. They just wanted whatever I wanted to paint.
Okay.
But we've done a little bit of research on this thing, and the gentleman that is over that whole deal, come to find out, that was considered back in Billy's day the red light district.
Oh, really?
That's why he liked to hang out down there.
Makes sense. Was there like a Harvey's at that train station, all that? Which, for folks that don't know, and you still see a few of them today in the history, but they were kind of your Howard Johnsons or your Pilot Flying J of the train world, and you could get a hotel room, you get a meal, you can get a bath.
But there was on each side. But there again, you have to remember this is the red light district, so
it's probably a little shady.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those rooms were by the hour.
Yeah. Not by the minute. We're going somewhere with this one.
I get what you're saying.
But yeah, to find that information out, that's a bit of history that you just you don't get to know.
And in all fairness, you're not going to see that in a book or a painting because no one's proudly displaying their red light district in their history, annals of history. It's just not how it works.
I mean, it's one of the oldest professions,
Yeah.
But and there's some more history with it that I'll drop as soon as I get the painting completed.
So I imagine there's probably an evolution there because I imagine when it was first put in and everything that the intentions of it being a red light district were not there. So it was probably pretty nice and modern for what it was at the time.
You got to remember now, like I said the last time, Las Vegas was split by the river. I mean, you had East Las Vegas and West Las Vegas.
Gotcha.
And if you was a business owner, where would you throw up shop? I mean, you got people coming off the train.
Yeah, you're catching them where they're close. And and granted, this was also before phones, before cars.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure that Mr. and Mrs. Ted, especially Mrs. Ted, probably wasn't too fond of, hey, what are you doing out in that building? Let's go on up the street where it's a little bit more classy.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure it was probably, and I imagined you get off the train and you get bombarded with, probably your churchgoers with your don't follow the heathens, the sinners. And I'm sure it was probably it's kind of like if you ever been on a cruise or whatever and you get off like in the Bahamas and you get off the ship and you get inundated with just people trying to braid your hair and all that. Yeah. I imagine it was very similar to that experience. That
exactly.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. And this painting is pretty cool. I think I've done it justice because it's more of the symbolization of the old train station of what it looked like than it is Billy the Kid. Even though he's tied to the history, but he is
absolutely. I mean, well, and let's face it. There's been Billy the Kid's name has been famous for a long time.
True,
and it is advantageous for certain communities to slap his name on things to garner attention. Exactly. And so sometimes in New Mexico history, you're like, well, did Billy Kid really do anything, or he just like rolled through town one time and said, give me a beer,
put up shop.
Yeah, I mean, or was this one of his hangouts, one of his places where he had to lay low, or one of the places he was?
People have to understand that he did not own a house. Yeah. He didn't own nothing. I mean, the Mexican community, they held him. And basically, at the very beginning, my whole belief is that, they took him in. Mm-hmm. I guess you would say the old Willie Nelson song.
Well, he was kind of looked at in a Robin Hood like to people that were not of the government.
But then at the end, these people got sick and tired saying, dude, they're burning down just about every building that they come across.
Sure.
And you're bringing some danger with
the plague is coming with you wherever you roll into. Yeah.
And so my belief is that he could trust people in the beginning, and that's what got him in the end.
Well, and then and like anything, everyone has a price. Yeah. And when the price got too big, that's when you find out who your friends are and who your friends are.
Would you want your place burned down?
Exactly. And for a guy that's an outlaw and everything else, all of a sudden the reward money's getting pretty big for information. You're like, I like Billy, but I like $100,000 a lot better. You know what it is, or whatever, 50 grand or whatever that number is.
But I've got that one, and you had John LeMay on yesterday, but I'm doing the Montezuma castle up there, which at the very very beginning of it was built 3 times.
Nice.
It had burned down twice. The one that you got today is the Montezuma,
sure,
which was of course later in history.
Fascinated by some. I'm anxious to read his book. He left me a copy here, kind of talking about some of the the fact from the marketing side of that thing there. Kind of get back to the Billy the Kid, very much the same.
See, the original name of it was the Las Vegas Hot Springs because they have the hot springs there, and so basically the hotel, whenever it was first built, was made to cure tuberculosis, rheumatism,
which a lot of folks that were brought here. Look at Fort Stanton over here.
Well, and that's the other deal about that most New Mexicans don't know, that it has even been lived here their whole life like me.
Yeah.
We had 15 sanitariums in New Mexico. Mm-hmm. And there was 2 that was down, one Dripping Springs down by Las Cruces, and then they just, I guess New Mexico was the cure-all state.
Yeah. Well, and I think the ideology was for people with tuberculosis, the higher elevation was more beneficial to their condition.
And the drier climate.
Yes, the drier climate, the higher elevation. But this is why Fort Stanton has a merchant marine cemetery in the middle of the mountains. You're
exactly.
It's because when their merchant marines got TB, they sent them here to convalesce and ultimately live out their lives because, they got TB.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to go back and track a lot of this history that is, and like I said, the buildings is the main focus, not Billy the Kid. The buildings.
Yeah,
these places stood.
And there was a lot of life and history that went on there before that man walked into it.
Exactly.
If you want to see the culture, the lifestyle of the New Mexican of that era, the building is going to tell you a lot more than Billy will.
Yeah. And that's like, some of the conversation has went around, that what was historians want to know what Billy ate. Okay, and so they was
same thing everybody else ate.
and it was beans and tortillas mainly. Yeah. I mean, that was the thing.
Sure.
What was quick and go?
Sure. What do typically Mexican food? Beans. Things that. Oh, and by the way, I'm sure it was lacking all the spices and flavor palettes that are readily available in your grocery store. It may have 1 or 2 that whatever they, because it's farm to table. There wasn't grocery stores.
It was probably the same distance, the same consistency as eating a Wells butt or something.
Even during the Lincoln County Wars, of course that all started with the Murphy and the stores there, but these were like Sears Roebuck's dime stores. You wanted to get the dress for, they weren't selling meat. They weren't selling cheese. They weren't selling, food. They were selling the latest fashions from Europe and the latest gadgets for your home that you can't live without.
Dolan and Murphy now, they wanted those beef contracts.
Yeah, now that was selling to the military, but they weren't cutting up steaks and selling them out over the counter here, like people would think today. Right. Well, and this is why I always get back to the point. You want to know why New Mexico's as screwed up as it is? Lincoln County War will tell you all that.
It's never changed since then.
Yeah, the Murphy, basically he was in the military, and this is what he did for Fort Stanton. And so basically as a civilian, he turned into Kumbala and this whole Santa Fe ring and this whole thing.
And most people don't know, but he was deputized as a policeman.
All the crooks had badges. Everyone was lawed up, and
both sides of the law.
Yeah, exactly. So who's right, who's wrong? That's where the history books, and it depends on who you talk to and what side of the feud you're on. And guess what? There's a bunch of people to this day that probably don't think Billy the Kid's the good guy in this one. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You can only do wrong for so long.
Sure. It's a lot of gray.
Did it start out as something good? I think that the true one, and he would be the guy, and I know that I need to move on center from this, but the guy that I would love to talk to would be Doc Scurlock.
Yeah.
Because that dude, after this whole thing, you cannot find anything in the history cuffs because he remains silent.
Yeah. Well, and the movies kind of portray it that way.
And I think that he's the only guy that I would want to sit down and talk to because I think you'd get the holy truth out of it.
Yeah. When I watched the first Young Guns, they predict, like the second one he comes back and he gets killed. Spoiler alert. But in the first Young Guns, they send the correct, like when they give you the afterwards, they basically say he goes off and disappears to be a teacher and all that, never to be heard from again. Of course, it didn't work for Young Guns 2, so they had to bring it back.
That part was historically fact.
Yeah. So I kind of knew that that's what really happened to him, and you're right. If you do dig in the history books and stuff, it kind of.
I double dog in anybody to try to find where he said anything, and because he took it to his grave.
Yeah, and he was like the movie portrays him and everything else. He was a scholarly man. He was a man of letters and a man of education. So
exactly,
and
anyway, moving on.
I know we got so much. I don't want to. We could talk about that all day, but we got other things to talk about.
All of my art ain't just about Billy the Kid, of course. You can see.
Mm-hmm.
I like to change it up, and I really because I think art is in a movement now that. And I'm glad to be a part of it. You're starting to see it more and more in commercials. You're starting to see where artists are becoming independent artists, as such as what I am. Of course, my platform is a little bit different than most artists. But at the same time, it's I don't know that most artists out there, they paint for today instead of painting for history, which means that they're losing the concept of, okay, why does Mona Lisa stand the test of time? Well, why does Degas stand the test of time?
Makes sense, yeah.
Well, okay, people can say Monet. I'm not a Monet fan, sorry. Anyway, but why does their art stand the test of time? Because they painted for history.
Yeah.
First of all and foremost.
Makes sense.
If you go for just the sell today, I feel like that you're getting trapped. And that's where you become the business side of art. And that's where, well, I'm sorry, but you're setting your own monologue.
Sure. Well, and I imagine, too, you look at it, too, because you kind of, and unfortunately, I think people that don't know art but just may know names, they don't understand time periods. Like, they don't realize that Picasso lived in a completely different era than Monet and these guys you're talking about here.
Right.
But if you talk to people that don't know, they lump it all together in one thing.
Right.
And
most artists, they like to jump on that. Okay, the Renaissance. Okay, but what was the Renaissance?
Yeah.
I mean, because true, you can say that was the art period.
Sure.
Okay, but every artist was painting basically the same thing.
Right.
Every painting was dark.
Sure.
Through this period. Because, well, shoot, man, this was nothing short of the Dark Ages.
Sure. Well, even like your modern art, your soup cans and your those kind of things, they go back to what you're saying. Yeah, it's weird and eclectic, but it's still history.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So even the stuff that is more Picasso or more, and the name just went right, the soup can guy, what's his name? Shoot, big in the 70s.
Pop culture.
Yes. His name just went right out of my head. This part of sucks being old.
Yes, because I'm not a friend.
But I keep on saying Dalai Lama. I'm like, not Dalai Lama. Salvador Dali. No, that's not it. It's whatever his name is. It just ran out of my head. There's
Dude,
people yelling at the radio. It is contagious. I'm sorry.
Everybody else out here,
they're yelling at the radio right now, but
because they're the fan of
but
it.
the soup can, the Campbell soup can, all that stuff. People. But
that
to
was
me,
pop art.
Yeah, but that still follows history. 'Cause
Exactly.
guess what? Here we are 30 years later still talking about that art because of what it evokes and what memories and what it feels. Andy Warhol.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. I'm sorry, that name was not coming to me.
It wasn't me either. But he was a trippy kind of guy too. I mean, he's a lot like Picasso. And that's the reason why I'm not a Picasso fan. This guy actually had to take hallucinogenic drugs in order to paint.
Well, see, and then they have different phases of their life, and you can actually see their.
But he didn't start out that way. I mean, he started out the heaviest thing that he done was smoking.
So do you think that was a muse issue? Like the inspiration dried up? Or do you think there was more other things in his life that he turned to that?
Well, I think that it's like anything. And we can say like the genres of music. What's the hook going to be?
Right.
And the more eccentric that you can be, usually that's what sells.
Sure.
And that's the platform with music today. Well, that's like y'all was talking about country music the other day.
Yeah.
Well, it's becoming eccentric. One is that you got a younger generation.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first more. The second part of that is that, okay, when's the last time that you went out and actually bought a CD?
I can't remember.
That's the
I
other
got a
thing.
few given to me.
So now they're saying, okay, so what's the marketing tool going to be?
Sure. Well, even the technology, because, we talked about the country, and now country's sounding more pop. Part of that, too, is computers, the technology. True. Merle Haggard didn't have a computer.
He didn't have this.
To create a drum line for him or create a rhythm for him.
Yeah, you had to get on the bus and live the hard life.
Yeah, exactly. And
then you look back and you went through 6 wives and you're like, what happened to life?
But and this is where the part where maybe the younger artists need to learn is your life makes your art better.
True.
Your experiences, your personal experiences make your art better, whether you're singing or painting or sculpting or food making.
Which is what I like to do. I think that I give back more than I sell.
Mm-hmm.
And that I know drives people crazy because they're like, well, you still have to make a living. You can. But how do you market yourself?
Sure.
Because you yourself have a shelf life as an artist.
Right.
I mean,
and this is where younger people are better than people our age because they do have that you got to create a brand mindset.
Yes.
They grew up in a world where people are like, do you have a logo? And I'm like, a logo? I'm Mike. What do you mean a logo?
Well, but that's what it's moved to.
Exactly. And so they have a leg up on us on that part. Or I think we as older folks need to remind them, it's like, that's great, you got this part, but you gotta have the battle scars a little bit to make the product better.
Exactly.
And that's where they got to learn.
And mine didn't happen overnight. Mine, I took the challenge and said, okay, I want to take art to a whole new level. I want to set a bar because I felt like that art has died off. And I was like, okay, I want to bring it back to a level. And then once I get to this level, if I can't keep raising that bar for me, then how can any other artist that's coming along, how can I get them to that
I've got
level?
a philosophical, what do you think on this one? Now we see the age we're in. AI can create pretty much anything on a computer nowadays. And we were talking about the coolness and the
it's
scariness.
The new Photoshop.
Yeah, the coolness and the scariness of that too. And I'm wondering if we're going to see in the music and art painting, that kind of world, a renaissance period at some point where we hit, like with food. We got to a point where, you go to the store and you buy Budweiser or whatever. And then, like in the 90s and the 80s there, we got a resurgence back to artisan-y, craft beers, making it at hand. I wonder if with all this AI and all, we're going to hit a point where people are like, you know what? I want to see a guy with a guitar in a room. I want to see a guy with a paintbrush and a canvas painting. I don't want to see a guy with a computer. I wonder if we're going to have a resurge where we almost get like your artisan-y craft beer and winemakers and all this, where we have artists to say, I don't believe in a computer. I don't believe in it. Everything I got, I don't plug into electricity. I wonder if we're going to see that.
Well, see, the difference between, and that's where I have this whole deal, and I know quite a few famous singers and so forth. There's no pat on the back. It's just because of what I choose to do. You can fake music. Now, you can't fake real.
That's
and
true.
what I'm saying is that canvas, these canvases, if you put them under microscopes, they've got little pits in them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, black pigment paint is the hardest because there's holes in it. Okay? And these voids are hard even when you're trying to paint.
Gotcha.
Whether it's on a car or whether it's on a canvas. And we were taught this in art school, and we had to put all these colors under microscopes.
Sure.
And you see all these pigments.
You learn
and
the science
holes.
of the art. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so what I'm saying is that you can't fake real. Paintings, people try to do spin-offs. They've done them for ages on the black market.
But they can't create the original.
But then whenever they take them to a regular historian that knows their paintings and they start to do the research on this stuff, they're like, nah. Well, that was to come to find out. People were saying, and Leonardo da Vinci, he started out using egg whites, okay? But then what he found out with these egg whites is that they crack over time.
Mm-hmm.
And they really start to lose that luster and color because paint is about layers.
Yeah.
And so then he started mixing oils. So he was actually the first inventor of using oils when you boil down.
And it's funny you mention that because for folks who don't know in the art world here, Peter De La Fuente, part of the Herd family, we've had him on the show. Great guy to interview and everything. But his medium, he likes to work with the egg wash and that kind of thing. So he's, which gets back to this is that history of the art again, which I love. And this is where he does that in his world. You do your thing in your world. And I think that's what's the beauty about art. There's a place for everybody. You want the guy that's still doing it with the eggs? Awesome. You want the guy that's doing it with whatever newest weird thing that's out there? Awesome. But as long as there's people with the brush in their hand and doing it, then I'm all for it.
Exactly.
Let's push that envelope. But I really think we'll get to a point where people are so sick of AI or so sick of seeing that,
big time,
that they're going to be like, no, I want the real.
In the art world, we're already pushing back. They're not even trying to mess with us.
Good.
They're not, because that standard's already set.
Sure. Well, and you've been fighting that. I'm sure, like when screen printing came out, print history. Yes. I mean, this battle has happened at different stages throughout the world of painting.
Which is how come that we set a standard, and this was back whenever I was in art school.
Yeah.
Okay, graphic design. Graphic design is not fine art.
Right.
These are two. That's how come we're fighting now with photography, because they're wanting to put photography.
Yeah, your McDonald's logo is not artwork.
Exactly.
Sorry, it's a logo.
It's a brand. It's a brand.
Now, can you make it artistic? And sure.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, its job is to get butts through the door. It's not to evoke feelings and inspire.
Hence again, no offense to all the cowboy fans, but that's what Jerry Jones is. He don't care about wins. It's about how many people are in the stadium.
Well, at the end of the day,
the money.
No bucks, no Starbucks, or what's the no. I can't remember.
See, we couldn't even remember Warhol.
Yeah, exactly. Don't rely on me with that. But yes, we want to unveil a new painting here.
Yes.
We got so sidetracked in conversations.
Sorry.
No,
I can do this.
It's my
day.
fault. I'm supposed to host this thing.
But anyway, because I drive people absolutely crazy because I'm not a set styled artist. Okay, I don't never believed. I think that art is fluid.
Sure.
If you don't practice and you're only set with one style, okay, then get out there on the golf course and you're only set on one way of driving that ball.
So you're going to eat just peanut butter and jelly sandwiches the rest of your life, or you're just going to eat,
can't do it.
One day you might feel like pizza. One day you might feel like a burrito. One day you might feel like Chinese food. I mean,
exactly.
Art's the same way. You feel like painting something by the rules? Awesome.
Now,
tomorrow I ain't gonna.
I grew up in the 80s. You grew up in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And, hip hop was the thing, R&B coming in.
Right.
And the deal was that this is where the graffiti art started. Now, I'm sitting here trying to reach these kids and saying, okay, why don't we move it from walls to canvas? Because there is museums.
Sure.
But they want this.
And the walls only last as long as the building stands or until someone decides.
Everybody remembers LL Cool J, all of this stuff. And then, Nucleus and all them groups, breakdancing.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I done this painting right here, which is, we always do this wrong.
Oh, cool.
Well, Sorry, folks. One of these days I'll get it right.
It's this camera, so
Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
So this one here is a lot of the retro colors.
Oh, cool.
And it does glow in the dark.
I would even argue
neon.
it's got multiple. Like, yes, it's got the 80s, that graffiti. It's got a little 60s hippie influence too, a little bit. Yeah.
Because I wanted to take the alien, okay? And everybody remembers the alien from the Alien movie that they had updated. He didn't have no eye, but he looked chrome, right?
Yeah.
You know, it had the little other mouth that came out of the mouth, all of that stuff. So I wanted to update him.
That looks cool. I love that.
So I reached out to the UFO spacewalk and said, hey, you know, I want to help out. And of course, they're doing some remodeling, and Karen, she didn't have time and stuff like that to try to fit it in because it was a last minute deal. So after the festival, we're going to do a donation to it.
Okay. So look forward at the spacewalk here.
Yes.
In the coming weeks here.
In the coming weeks.
Yeah.
So come back, go through the spacewalk, and check it out.
Oh, very cool. That way you can study it more because there's a lot going on there. I just looked at it for a minute here.
Yeah, sorry.
And so that way you can study because there's a lot going on there. It's pretty cool.
Graffiti art is, there again, there's a history to it.
Absolutely. Well, and it's beautiful when it's done.
My mom knows this because I've talked to her, but whenever I was in art school, we had a graffiti artist, and he came in, and he was from Detroit. And I was good with oils, you know, or airbrushing or any of that other mediums. I can do all of that. But oil is the hardest medium to me because it's so challenging.
Less forgiving.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You better be on.
Right.
I mean, you can cover happy mistakes.
Right. Like watercolor, you can water out all your mistakes. Oil is a little less forgiving.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And so anyway, he helped me with graffiti because I wanted to understand what each line meant.
Sure.
Why it was done.
The
such
significance
a way.
to it. Yeah.
But this dude could not, for the life of him, and he was failing until I helped him out, doing any kind of oil works or anything like that. So I wanted to get back. You're seeing the first graffiti art that I have done, but it was fun to do it again.
Are you inspired to do some more?
I want to. I've been asked to.
Good,
and we'll see what happens.
I'm so, and that's what I kind of love about your work because I'm like, you could see an Old West thing 1 minute and then a Metallica symbol the next, and that's what, to me, that's cool. So, if folks would like to get a hold of you for maybe commission work or if they have an organization that could use your help, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Right now on Facebook. One last thing before we go.
Yeah.
Nobody knows about this, but I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I'm going mainstream, and it looks like my new branding hopefully will come out next month.
Okay.
We're going worldwide with it.
Nice.
We're at that point. So then I will be dropping it. But I don't want to let too much out of the bag. But it is catchy.
Well, if you get too big time for us, we remember you win. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
just come in from time to time and visit.
Hey, if you sit still, then you're doing nothing.
That's right. So, well, we're so glad that you got so much going on here. And please, folks, if get a hold of Greg. I know several people that you've done work for, and they all love it. And you love working with history and organizations. And if you're looking for some of that kind of stuff, Greg probably would be interested in talking to you.
Yep, and I would love giving back.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Greg.
Thank y'all.
Take care and stay healthy, and we'll see you. Have a great 4th and a great UFO Festival weekend, and we'll see you.
Well, I'll be out there doing some signings. So
there you go. That's right. Don't,
in the heat.
Don't get too cramped up on your
or in the rain.
That's right. Hopefully a little bit of both. So. It's 9 o'clock. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. News in progress.
Months after Trump becomes the Republican Party's presidential nominee and about 7 weeks before Election Day. Greg Clugston, the White House.
Couple dozen congressional Democrats reportedly set to ask President Biden to quit the White House race, that according to Reuters. Now, given Mr. Biden's performance in last week's debate, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi says that questions about Mr. Biden's ability to lead are valid.
I think it's a legitimate question to say, is this an episode or is this a condition? And so when people ask that question, it's completely legitimate of both candidates.
Pelosi on MSNBC. The Biden administration selling off 1 million barrels of gasoline from emergency reserves, a bid to lower prices at the pump. The administration says the release was actually mandated by Congress. In effect, it liquidates the Northeast gasoline supply reserve. Hurricane Beryl roaring across the Caribbean Sea, powerful Category 4 storm. It's on a path toward Jamaica and the Cayman Islands. At least 6 people have died after the storm slammed islands in the southeast Caribbean. A couple of Russian naval ships docking in Venezuela. Moscow says it's meant to show the flag in remote, important parts of the world. Watching Wall Street, stocks are mixed. The Dow is down 70 points, while the Nasdaq trading 61 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Their complaints.
In the letter, they accuse the US government of clinging to a failed policy that not only has been devastating for the Palestinian people, but has also endangered Israelis. They say the ongoing transfer of weapons to Israel, despite its actions in Gaza, have further destabilized the Middle East and put a target on America's back. The State Department has been approached for comment. It has previously responded to expressions of dissent, denying the claims, pointing to its criticism of civilian casualties in Gaza and its efforts to boost humanitarian aid.
The BBC's Tom Bateman. Australian police say a 14-year-old boy accused of stabbing a man at a Sydney university had faced previous charges which were dismissed by a court. Local media report the teen was accused of threatening to shoot fellow students at his Sydney school. News and analysis, townhall.com. Some people are arguing against demolition of the scene of a mass shooting.
Plans to tear down a small Texas church where a gunman in 2017 killed more than 24 worshipers have been held up as there's a push to stop that demolition. Leaders of First Baptist Church of Sutherland Springs have not publicly announced the timeline. On Tuesday, a Texas judge approved a temporary restraining order sought by some families to delay demolition, but an attorney for the families say they're concerned the demolition could still proceed since the church had still not been served the order. Authorities say 26 people died in what remains the deadliest church shooting in U.S. history. Keith Peters reporting.
San Diego County will pay almost $15 million to settle a lawsuit by the family of a 24-year-old pregnant woman who died in jail after a sheriff's deputy and a medical worker watched her collapse in her cell. It happened 5 years ago. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelist and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Trace and Viernos.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Wednesday. That feels like Friday, but it's actually Wednesday. But, but it feels like Friday. But it's Wednesday. But it feels like Friday.
It's become clear to me that there's certain types of managerial styles that prey upon one's guilt complex. When asked, well, we're not going to do the show tomorrow, but were you going to do a show on Friday? I know that they want the answer to be yes. I don't know if I want that to be the answer yet.
I just said no.
Okay, because my guilt complex is like, he wants me to, so I don't know.
Up to you. Please advise. I said, I'm leaning no.
Please advise. That's a great phrase.
And if he says do it, then I'm like, okay, I'll do it then.
Yeah.
But if you ask me, nah.
Right. If I gotta, sure.
Right. I mean,
When
sleep
left to
in or get up and do my day job?
When left to my own devices,
I'll choose sleep in.
That's my favorite morning programming, the backside of my eyelid. Yeah, love it.
Of course, I know what's going to happen. I'll sleep in for like an hour, and then I'll get up and sit there and stare at the computer or the TV. Yeah, right.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
In my underpants is the way the good Lord intended. Actually, no, she gets on to me if I do that.
When you turn the mic on?
No, when I don't come out fully clothed.
Oh,
put some pants on.
Well,
I'm not gonna just
that's the whole reason. That's the whole reason you pay your mortgage.
We ain't doing that.
There's been a couple nights. Where I got home and I kind of Donald Ducked it a little bit. I had underpants, so I wasn't full Donald Duck.
You're Pooh Bear. That's what I'm saying. It's not even totally undecent. He's not like hanging brain. He's got some semblance of shorts on.
And they're
Let
like,
the man be comfortable in his home.
they're boxer briefs, so they come down to mid-leg. So it's not like I'm, I don't wear G-strings or nothing. So
he can be comfortable, but he doesn't have to do that.
That actually that was my next question. Is you don't like full Barrett in bed, do you?
Oh no.
No, you're a pajama guy, right?
No, I wear underpants.
Okay, under attire.
Yeah. That's what I wear to bed.
Yeah.
Understandable. Huh?
You said undecent.
Oh, well, I don't know what I said.
It's not like I walk around the house in my undies. No. I don't.
Well, I don't make a habit of it, but one time I don't feel like putting on shorts, and I got treated to like I just was at Auschwitz or something. I'm like,
what are you doing?
But didn't you guys both take solemn vows that would not be a problem moving forward? Like sickness and in health, richness, poorness, and in all different states of
What
dress.
does that have to do with wearing
And in all
undies around
different
the
states
house?
of dress, Kim. You got to let me finish.
She just can't handle the legs. That's the problem.
That's it.
Yeah,
Can't
I'm
control it.
jealous.
Can't
I'm
control
telling you,
herself
they're smoother than mine.
when the legs are out. Everyone gets all verklempt and gets the vapors around here when I bust out the legs. So what do you want to do?
It's hot in here. It's like a Diet Coke commercial up in this piece.
Can't help it. I can't help it. Sometimes I need to let the boys out, get the air on them beautiful legs.
Next time.
That's not where I thought you were going.
Yeah.
I know. That's why I said it. That's why I said it.
Next time, Kimmy's coming in cabaret style. Kick, ball, kick, ba, kick, ba, and pose.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's just when you said that, it reminded me of it. Yeah, I remember one time, it was one night, I think we were going to bed in an hour, and I'm just like, I'm just going to sit here in my underwear and watch the TV for an hour.
What are you doing?
Yeah, she gave me a hard time, I was like, it's not like I'm at Subway doing this, I'm at my house, It's like, only people see you and two cats, that's it. And you've seen this, so have the cats. So who cares?
Fun fact, H.H. Milne originally wrote Winnie the Pooh, the character Winnie the Pooh, as a girl, which really puts the whole shirt-only thing into perspective.
Maybe that's why he changed it. He saw like the illustrations like, yeah, this ain't going to fly. Pooh Bear's a boy.
It's going to be a dude.
Yeah. What was their aversion to pants? Like, we're going to clothe animals anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Why just throw some pants on these things? Why did we got to get Donald Duck and Winnie the Pooh, and there's a couple more there that ran around pantsless. Porky Pig, I think, they wore shirts, but no
in
pants.
early animation, clothes were used as points of separation. So you can have the model that has always is in the shirt, and then the arms and the legs and the head can be moved around or animated upon.
Yeah.
So it's a base. It's the same reason most early cartoon characters wore white gloves, so that you could see the articulation of the fingers.
Okay, but now we've advanced.
We've advanced.
Put some pants on the man.
Well, now it's homage. Now we're paying homage to the animation styles of yesteryear.
But it's bare-bottom bears.
Don't ever type that into Google, by the way. Barebottombears.com. It's
You don't want to do that, no.
So much hair. She's typing in now. As soon as she said, "Don't do that," I got her. She's like, "I'm in my phone. Hold on." But yeah, I just have a bit of a like, why? Why did they subject it? I get your part. Okay, by design they had to do it, but now we can do anything.
Right.
Put some pants on.
It's to make you wonder why. Like it's got to be it. It's just, I mean, if you look at like cartoons that I grew up with, it's like there were the tropes of the cartoon character wearing the same clothes every day, and that gets addressed in some of them. They're like open their closet and it's all the same outfit just in there. Or the never-ending hallway. That was another big. That was a Hanna-Barbera technique.
So like more modern cartoons, like your Paw Patrols and all that. I don't know. I don't watch them. Do those animals wear pants?
Actually, the Paw Patrol characters don't. Matter of fact, Bluey, the Bluey characters, they don't wear any clothes.
What's their excuse?
This is something that's been brought up online too.
Mm-hmm.
They don't wear clothes, yet they're constantly shown folding clothes, hanging clothes on a line, but none of them wear clothes.
They're invisible clothes. Once they get put on them, they're invisible.
This is the Charmin Bear commercial all over again.
Yep.
Like every one of them, they're talking about keeping their underwear clean. I'm like, they don't wear underwear in any of these commercials.
Right.
Why are they talking about? Why is there underwear on the floor? You're not even wearing underwear. Why are you throwing underwear? And why is it dirty? If you're
What
not
kind of
wearing
weird parties are you having with clothed animals?
Yeah, I remember pointing that out a couple Charmin commercials ago. Oh man. Anyway, we need a sponsor that sells just pants. And we'll have a whole segment of complaining about why, and then brought to you by the Pants Store.
The Pants Store. Bringing your legs heat since 1953.
Roy wants to weigh in on the pants discussion. Yes.
I just thought of like Looney Tunes and how they just wear gloves and shoes, but they don't wear anything else.
Right, and he kind of explained part of that was part of the originally was because of the animation side, it was difficult to do the hands and the legs without the gloves. Without
it's Sonic.
detail.
It's like Sonic the Hedgehog, where they wear boots and stuff, but no pants or anything.
Also, you don't want to see the Elmer Fudd version of that character. Just boots and no clothes.
Yeah,
it's terrifying.
It's probably just a eunuch. He just probably
now we're getting into Foghorn Leghorn territory here. So.
Another non-clothed character.
Yeah.
I said, boy.
I say.
Boy.
Yeah.
Foghorn Leghorn's become a bit of a meme lately too.
I'm sure he's been cancel cultured out or something because he has an accent and he says boy.
Well, no, it's more like people just voice acting as him and like putting him in different situations, like fighting different characters from different shows and stuff.
Also, people who don't wear pants do things like that.
Yeah, it's true.
There's a tie. They said pantsless.
It's a real subculture.
I must draw this.
I have to.
They're always pantsless, and there's always a tub of Jell-O nearby, and I don't know why. So
not necessarily in correlation. It's just these two things tend to happen together.
That's right. All right, let me give you the rundown because it's all downhill from here if I start going anywhere.
It's just
else.
coasting. There's no gas left. In
that's right. It's just going to get me in trouble at this point. And it'd be funny, but it wouldn't. It would get me in trouble.
We'll save that for mornings with Mike Winters. Nights.
After dark. It is 16 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let me give you the rundown here. You did hear Crystal Noble in that medley of voices there. She is going to join us in official capacity with the Humane Society here in just a bit. Give us an update on their. Are you guys having good with dogs yet, or still dog issues? All right, no bueno on dogs. So we'll get that update there and all that. They had distemper issue there, which is what happens when people aren't responsible. But anyway, we all have to suffer. So anyway, we'll get the update from Crystal here in just a bit. Later on in the hour, we'll get you up to date with news of the local variety, Wall Street business update, and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. But voiced.
I was gonna say, thankfully, this is what comes up when you Google bare bottom bears.
You just did it to yourself.
I was curious. It's just a teddy bear. It's just a teddy bear. We're safe, everybody. It's fine.
Well, that was the first thing?
That was the first thing.
Do you have restrictions on your phone?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah, it's like you have the safe filter on.
Do you have like the kid-friendly filter?
Yeah.
I'm single, so no.
But you have kids.
I also have spare time.
Well, your kids have their own devices, right?
Yes.
They don't get on a mom and dad's device so much. So I guess that figured. All right, it is 9:17. Don't get on your devices. I'll just tell you the weather. Here it is.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have a batch of moist air coming through the area today. We'll be in the upper 90s to low 100s and a few scattered afternoon showers and thunderstorms. Might get a shower till about midnight tonight. We'll drop into the mid-70s and then sunny and hot for Independence Day. Slim chance of an afternoon shower. We'll be in the low 100s. Friday, a few showers and cooler. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 80 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 56% with winds out of the southeast at 6 miles per hour. We are looking at a 30% chance of some showers and thunderstorms after 3 p.m. today. Partly cloudy and a high of 98, or 99 otherwise, east winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight we're looking at a 20% chance of showers, mainly before 9 p.m., so they're talking between 3 p.m. and 9 p.m. is our window for rain this afternoon. Mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 74, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For your Independence Day tomorrow, mostly sunny, high of 101, south winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, we are looking at a 30% chance of rain, but they're not expecting anything till after midnight. So I think you'll be okay if you're launching off fireworks. Just be responsible. Be responsible. Don't shoot guns. But chance of rain after midnight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 73, northeast winds at around 10 miles per hour. Friday, day one of UFO Festival, we're looking at a 50% chance at afternoon showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy and a high near 90. A little cooler. Winds will be out of the northeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. 40% chance of rain for Friday night, mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 69 degrees. Then for the rest of the weekend, 30% chance of rain Saturday, mostly sunny at 94, sunny and 100 on Sunday. And we do have rain chances, like a 20% with highs in the low 90s, Monday, Tuesday of next week. At least that's what they're saying right now. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9. We're going to take a 2.5-minute break. And actually, I got to add a couple more commercials, so about a 3.5-minute break. And then we will talk Humane Society on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Oh! Shooters, mark your calendars for the H.F. Sinclair 3rd Annual Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range, benefiting the Artesia FFA. Main event is Saturday. Registration at 7 a.m. 1 in 4 participants win prizes, gun boards, raffles, and lunch included. There's an option Friday night light shoot with $40 individual rounds. Details and registration info at artesiachamber.com. Deadline is July 1st. The 3rd Annual H.F. Sinclair Freedom Clay Shoot, July 12th and 13th at the Eddy County Shooting Range.
Every piece of land has a story, written by those who work it. But everyone's story is different. So the question is, how will you tell yours? Behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, mower, or Gator utility vehicle. Run with us and start telling your story today.
Stop by Pecos Valley Equipment in Artesia and Roswell, or visit us online at pecosvalleyequipment.com.
The Sermon on the Mount begins with what is often called the Beatitudes, or maybe another way to say it, the supreme blessings. The blessings that give the true path to God. Jesus takes the human concept of happiness and turns it upside down. The ultimate goal in life is not just the pursuit of happiness, it's the pursuit of God's rule. The first Beatitude reads, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." Let's first talk about what poor in spirit is not. It has nothing to do with physical poverty. It has nothing to do with being sad or depressed. The person who is poor in spirit recognizes their spiritual poverty and recognizes that they must fully rely on God. It's a state of humility in the realization of the sinful state and complete dependence on the good grace of God. Isn't it a relief to know that we don't have to rely on our own strength, but can fully rely on the strength of our God?
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Bob Reed Pest Control protects you and your home by controlling pests that invade. Bob Reed Pest Control understands the importance of safety in and around your home from unwanted pests. Protect your family's most important investment, your home, and protect your children and pets from the dangers of poisonous bugs and insects. Call Bob Reed Pest Control today and let our fully licensed pest control professionals start working for you and your family. Find us fast in names and numbers. Call 623-5344, serving all of Southeast New Mexico.
Strong women need strong partners to help them lead their healthiest lives. At Artesia General Hospital, Dr. Scott Beard and nurse practitioner Lori Crockett deliver compassionate, holistic care to women at every age and stage. From routine checkups to diagnostic testing and specialty services like urogynecology, you can expect the most innovative, personalized care close to home. Learn more about women's services at Artesia General Hospital online at artesiageneral.com/women or by calling 575-736-8394. Many women's services are also offered in Carlsbad.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender, loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. Fergalicious. In fact, they're downright funky. Fergalicious. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 632-2660.
Fergalicious. Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Linen can absorb up to 20 times its weight in moisture before it feels damp. Now, you don't have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom anymore. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 9 o'clock, and now officially in studio with us, Crystal Noble with the Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am good. I like the cloudiness.
I do enjoy a little cloud, a little cooler. I don't need 107 at 9:30 in the morning. So
no.
It's kind of nice.
No, yeah. I like to wake up not feeling like Satan is going.
Yeah, exactly. But and to be honest, I mean, we do have those little rain chances, but I think this UFO festival will be not one of our hotter ones. Like they're talking highs of 90 Friday and 94 Saturday.
That's so weird.
Those aren't bad temperatures for the first week of July. You know.
Do you know why?
Cow farts. I have no idea.
No, because we pushed our trip back to July.
Oh, it's your fault.
It is. It is. And so now we had to suffer the whole 100 plus degrees.
Ah. Well, let's see what. Now it'll be beautiful Chamber of Commerce weather while you're gone.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Probably.
Go on more trips. Just kidding. She's like, I'd love to.
Yes, I would.
Don't tell me twice.
I'm going to put a GoFundMe page up. No.
But for folks not familiar, the Humane Society, if you're new to town, or might know, there are no-kill adopt shelter that they're actually physically located right next to animal control. And by default, they partner with animal control all the time to help with, making sure housing animals and taking in animals and things like that. Unfortunately, we have a bit of a dog situation between animal control and the Humane Society. The distemper outbreak that you were talking about last time you were in a couple weeks ago continues. They just found a new batch that were recently tested positive, which means they start the clock over again for the quarantine. So it's going to be at least another 3 weeks before we can consider adopting pets out of probably either facility. at this point.
Um,
Or dogs are that way, not pets, but dogs.
I'm not sure if animal control said anymore.
Okay.
I know that they were worried about parvo. I'm not sure if they came back positive.
Okay. And those are the two biggies, parvo and distemper.
Are.
They're the ones that can shut down a shelter pretty quick.
Yes.
If we don't get those under control.
We had the day before our quarantine was to lift from the first issue, we had puppies that had issues and they came back positive. So we have to restart over and hopefully nobody else shows symptoms or breaks. And
Wood knocking.
But we have dogs or cats, lots of cats.
If you're wanting to bring a cat into your family, the Humane Society has got a fine selection of felines that are looking for loving homes. Maybe take 2.
Or 4.
They do come good in pairs.
You know what? There is a city limit ordinance of 5, so we could set you up.
We do the 4-pack special.
Yeah. It's like Taco Bell.
But, and all joking aside, as a cat owner, if you have one cat, it's better with 2. It literally, because you aren't their sole entertainment now. They kind of do entertain each other. And there's still now more love. And cats can be independent and very needy, depending on, how you raise them. But,
yeah. And like some cats really don't like to be around other cats.
Yeah.
And then some cats desperately need it.
Sure.
And we have...
but if you adopt them together, and especially if they're kittens...
We do have a lot of litter mates.
And a likelihood of them already being familiar with each other and in some cases might be a good thing, depending if the animal's a little nervous about new surroundings and things. Having some familiarity in the environment might make that transition a little easier.
We have a kitten named Barbie. And she was horribly named because when she came in, she was all pretty and dainty and girly-like. And now she's more like a Bratz doll.
Ah, okay.
She wants to get into everything. She wants to climb everything. We have a volunteer that's been coming down on Tuesdays and Thursdays to help drain some of the energy, play with the cats, get them some exercise out of the kennel time.
Give them some fun time.
And he tells me, he goes, she's crazy. He's all, I get her out. He goes, and I get the toys and we start playing. He goes, and next thing I know, she's trying to climb up my head and on the top of the kennels. He goes, she's crazy. And I laughed.
So that one's got a little bit more juice than the other ones.
Yeah, she went from Barbie to Brat.
Wow. So if you do have a family and got maybe a lot of rooms for cats,
you got like one of those climbing wall cat tower things that these people are building on TikTok and stuff.
If you watch the My Cat from Hell guy, and all those things he creates, and sometimes like they've literally got those like cat running tracks and everything else in the city. Yeah, if you got that, this cat might be beneficial to something. A house with space to let the cat run around a little bit.
Yeah, she's got some. I want to go.
Well, and when you do, have a cat in your home, you do need to do. I'm not telling you have to go like the dude from that show and turn your home into some kind of cat playground, but you do need to provide like places that the cat can hang out that are up high.
Yeah.
Because cats feel comfortable when they can kind of sit and oversee things and be like a fly on the wall in the corner a little bit. So, places, that's why our cats like to hang out in the backs of the chairs and everything else, because it's places where they can look and see around and all that kind of stuff. So you got to be, A, having those, and B, willing to let your cats be in those places.
And those really cool cat window bubble things. Have you guys seen those?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like...
Yeah. Now, I'm not saying go crazy with all of that stuff, but yeah, add a few things in there that your cat is their own and let them have it.
Or go crazy.
Yeah, if you've got the means and the ability to, but most of us don't have those kind of lifestyles. So, you maybe designate a room or just put, where you guys hang out, put a big cat tower that they can climb up and go, whether it's one you buy at Petco or whatever, or when you build out in the backyard or whatever. But you got to give niches and places for cats and places to hide, because cats, that's their sanctums. When they want to get away from you, they like to hang out in the closet under your shoes or whatever it is, because it's quiet and they can recharge or meditate or whatever cats do to get happy again.
Right.
But you got a bevy of cats that are looking for homes
We do.
right now. Good.
And like I said, a lot of them are siblings. So
if you want to take in twos or whatever, then these will probably be very agreeable for that. Please note, now the rules for cat adoption is a little less stringent than dogs. You will have to have the pet spayed or neutered or chipped before it leaves, and the promise that this is an indoor-only cat. If you're looking for barn cats and things out in the county, that's not what the Humane Society does. These cats, we're trying to keep these cats indoors to keep from the feral cat problems and things like that.
if you are in need of barn cats, call us. Give us your information. Because we do have a lot of people that are trapping, feral cats in their area.
Yeah.
And
looking to relocate them.
looking to relocate them. So if you are looking for barn cats, give us a name and a phone number so that way when we have somebody call, we can
and those are perfect for that.
give those your phone number.
Because feral cats don't always make the best house cats because they're built different. They've been out used to living out in the wilds, singing for their supper, so to speak. Now, in all fairness, your house cat is way more healthier than that cat. That other cat also ate and exposed to everything known to man and is probably susceptible to a lot more things than your cat has, and probably doesn't know what a vaccination is in some cases. So, so that being said, and that's why we want because your indoor cats aren't built to be outdoors hunting and doing. They can pick up so many different diseases and sicknesses and bring that into your home and transfer it easy. So that's why we say keep the cats indoor, keep them from going out and being the next batch of alley cats out there.
Yes.
But if some of those do get wrangled from time to time, and like I said, you really can't adopt them out to homes because those cats are not built that way.
They don't want human interaction, and they will unintentionally hurt you to get away from you if you're trying to provoke them.
But they might make great barn cats where they keep the mice out, and that way. And usually as barn cats, they will establish, because after some point when hunting's down, you're throwing cat food out there and feeding, and they will establish a relationship with you. Now, they're not going to probably jump up in your lap and curl into bed with you.
No, I have a per se barn cat.
Yeah.
Who's been there since we moved in. Yeah. And, I feed him, but he also mouses.
Yeah.
And it's funny
because probably on occasion he'll rub up on you.
No, we ain't got that good yet.
No, okay.
But he sits afar and he stares at me and I talk to him and he turns his head and then I shake the food thing and he's like, all right, I like what you're saying.
Speaking my language.
And so,
but you're earning that trust and everything. And
2 years.
Yeah. But you know what? And cats, sometimes it takes a long time.
Good God, yes.
Yeah, it just does. I know.
Cats are worse than a woman.
Well, and especially if cats imprint onto a certain person, and that's a huge but if there's a second wheel in there, sometimes the second banana doesn't. I mean, they'll love on them and everything, but like for instance, Bella, our younger of two cats, which they're both older, they're both 9 and 12, I think at this point. We were figuring out the other day, but it's only been the last 2 years that Bella truly gets up in my lap, requests loving from me, lets me rub up on her, headbutt her and stuff, things, love on her. She let me pet her, but she would never let me but in the last 2 years, she not only doesn't mind it, but actually kind of wants it sometimes. So it took time, but I cracked that armor a little bit. She's still the one seed, but there are days where she wants the attention of daddy. So, but it took a long time. The first 7 years of our relationship, that did not happen.
She's like
Lucy, her cat. Yeah. When we met, she had a cat, and it took how many years?
I had Lucy for three years. It was just her and I, and then Mike comes into the scene, and it took 2 months for she would come out to see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it took a while for her.
But once
to
it did,
ease
then
up
we were cool, and I remember one night, and we weren't even married yet. She spooned with me.
Lucy.
It was 2 a.m.
She always spooned with me. I didn't know
She spooned with me. I was 2 a.m. I'm sitting there sleeping. Next thing you know, I was laying on my side. Next thing you know, I feel something furry getting laying.
Aww.
I'm like, And I was, Lucy? And I pet, and I put my arm around her, and she slept. I fell back asleep, so I don't know how long she was there, but long enough for me to fall back asleep and everything else. And so, so Lucy. Now, I think when she saw you in media, she'd be like, no. But if it was just like she knew that you weren't looking, I think she secretly like, I'll let you pat me. Come here.
Don't tell Mom about
it. I'll never forget that because I was blown away. It was 2 in the morning. Is something freezing over? Why is the cat wanting to spoon with me at 2 in the morning?
Oh, that's funny.
But but they will. So I'm thinking, give 2 years, give me 4. Maybe you could pet the cat, or or at least know when you're coming and start running out for food and all that kind of stuff.
He does.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he does come when there's food. He's like, ha.
But not quite yet to let you touch him and all that.
Like, he gets like 5 feet away, and he just sits there, and I talk to him, and it's like, he's like,
Sure. And I would imagine, too, life experiences form opinions just like in humans, just like they do in cats. If that cat, every interaction with a human was less than savory.
Me trapping him to go take him to get neutered?
Well, but just even, before you knew him.
That would do it.
Who knows when the cat, because the cat was there when you got there, right?
Yeah, who was already an adult, too.
There could have been one, who knows, adults that tried to do all kinds of weird crap to that cat.
We have,
remember.
He and I have this mutual agreement. He doesn't scare me, and I don't scare him, because he likes to sleep on top of either the work truck or my car.
Okay.
And so normally in the mornings, like if it was cold, like he would get in between the camper and the bed of the truck and pop the door open. And so many times he's taken a half a ride to work with me because I didn't know he was in the back of the truck. So we had to like lock the windows on the camper so that way he could stop like popping up and freaking out inside the camper. And I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Yeah.
Hopefully the cat doesn't learn to drive. Then we're in trouble.
He's like, beep, beep, Richie.
She's called the sheriff's department. I'm reporting a stolen truck. I think it was my cat.
His name is Whiteface.
Oh, that's funny. But point is, there are a bevy of cats that the Humane Society has that are ready for adoption. If you're looking for dogs, please keep checking back at the website. All the dogs are under quarantine.
Yeah, we have a tag at the top of the dog house that says no dogs available at this time.
Yeah.
Once quarantine is officially lifted, that will come off, and then we
Game
will.
on.
Yeah, because we have so many people calling every day. Is quarantine over? Is quarantine over? Is quarantine over? I promise you, it will eventually be over.
We want it to be over as much as you want it to
yes.
be over. Yes.
And since tonight is the 3rd of July, tomorrow is the 4th of July.
Got to remind people, take care of that.
If you have your pets, make sure you have collars on them and you've got your phone number on there. If you've got tags, make sure you get like a piece of duct tape, painter's tape, write your phone number and tape it on the tag or the collar because the tags will fall off. If your dog's microchipped, call, make sure you're updated.
And it should be microchipped if it's within city limits. It is an ordinance. So
check your fences, make sure that there's no gaps, no way for them to get out.
And trust me, when you
keep them inside.
When you think, oh, my dog will never get out of there, when your dog is in flight or fight mode, which is what happens when the fireworks go off, you'll be amazed at what your dog will bust through a stockade fence if it's big enough. Yeah, I've seen lab-sized dogs just mow through a fence like cartoons. When that flight or fight kicks in, it's just like you when you're a human and your adrenaline kicks in or flight or fight. Next thing you know, this is back to the babies lifting car or moms lifting cars to get babies out from underneath kind of thing. That's what, and your dog is experiencing that moment. And that's why this dog that's normally the laziest thing, next thing you know, gets into that mode and busts out and turns up 5 miles away. It's because that they kick into that mode. So you, especially if you have a dog that's sensitive to this kind of thing, prep ahead of time.
Go to your vet, go to Petco, go get some calming treats so that way you can start working them in because each night they're going to get more and more and more.
Sure. Yeah, they've already started a month ago. But
but as it gets closer to the holiday, they're popping them longer, more often. If you can get them the medication that can help calm them down, it'll help get them through this.
Absolutely. And talk
Now-
to your vets about that, because
Yes.
obviously if your dog has certain medical conditions, maybe that meds might not be right for them. So
yeah, that's
so
why I said
talk
go to your
on
vet,
that,
ask them what they suggest, so that way you can get the right medication. Now, if you do not live in the county, do not drive in the county, and do not shoot off your guns in the county.
Please. Yeah.
There's people out there that have livestock.
What comes up must
come
go down.
down.
And when you shoot a bullet straight up in the air, it comes down somewhere.
There's also people out there that have kids.
Yep.
It's dark out there. You're firing your gun up in the air. You come down, you're going to hit a child. You're going to hit an animal. Don't go out firing your guns in the county.
Yep. Or the city. You're not supposed to do it in the city
Well,
anyway.
no, but
don't
don't go out
stick
to
with
the
the
county
fireworks.
just to blow your gun.
Leave the guns in the holsters and in the gun safes, and stick to the fireworks on
If you want to
Thursday.
shoot your guns, go do it during the daytime.
Yep. In a range or in a place that's safe to do so.
Yes.
Not in the air at any point.
No, we will be closed tomorrow.
Okay.
So will the thrift store.
Okay.
When we reopen, it'll be Friday morning, 10 a.m.
All right.
The thrift store, they're open today.
Okay.
It is Wednesday, new day stuff.
Oh, yes. 10 o'clock here in about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Get on down there. There's going to be new stuff.
They have a lot of clothes that were donated, all of them brand new with tags.
Okay.
Of various sizes, men's, women's.
Okay.
Blankets, if you're in need of blankets, getting ready to go camping.
Absolutely.
Summer dresses, you want a nice, cute summer dress for the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a lot of them. Shorts, men's, women's, kids. They have a lot of shorts.
So lots of clothes right now.
Sun hats.
So don't go buy new shorts and tank tops and everything. You
I got
on
like
there.
8 pairs of shorts over there for like $5.
Nice.
Yeah. So.
And someone paid like probably $40-$50 a pair for them. So.
Yeah, because they're Lee's and Levi's.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. So.
If you don't want to, get sunburnt and have raccoon eyes, they have a lot of sun hats and a lot of just men's baseball caps.
Nice.
This Saturday, they're gonna do baskets, clothes baskets, 5 for $1. So if it's inside the basket, you get 5
So you
articles
could get
for
a
$1.
wardrobe for a couple bucks here if you play your cards right.
Yeah. They have a lot of electronics that are marked down. They have a or a countertop dishwasher.
Oh, wow.
That holds like 4 plates, 4 cups, 2 bowls.
So if you got like an apartment or something, like a single person, that might be perfect for them.
It's literally the same size as a microwave.
Oh, nice. So yeah, that's great if you're a couple or single person and you don't have that many dishes, or you cook about as often as.
Yeah. And then pots and pans. They have a lot of pots and pans.
College dorms, that'd be good for that.
Yes.
But now that college is going back to school, kids are going to be going off to
Yeah, because
college.
school starts really early this year.
That little dishwasher might be very handy.
Kids start back August the 1st.
Yeah, and teachers go back 2 weeks before that?
Yeah.
A week.
Yeah.
Oh, a week, okay.
Well,
Yeah, a week or
officially,
so.
but I think most of them go back earlier than that. But I think officially they have to go back like a week before.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. It's
Teachers go
quick.
back.
But go ahead. Well, just
ahead.
blurt it out when you're doing it.
Yeah,
But yeah, if you're needing the microwaves, the coffee makers, all those stuff that works well in college dorm rooms and stuff.
That's probably going to get used once or twice a
and get
month.
destroyed.
and
Decor,
destroyed.
college decor. Don't get expensive stuff. Get some great decor and knickknacks from the thrift store. They can, and if it breaks or whatever, no harm, no foul. It's no big deal. What's the school day?
Okay, so kids go back the 1st, which is on the Thursday.
Okay.
Teacher's first work day is that Monday.
Okay.
So it's 3 days before.
So it'd be the 28th, 7th, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
29th.
But
There you go.
teachers actually start before then
I was
on
about to say,
their
most
own,
of them,
getting everything ready.
They usually mid-July they'll start creeping into class.
Like I'll get my keys hopefully on the 16th and start getting my class ready.
Now my wife is the exception, not the rule. Like I know what happens every year. My wife is there like day one, setting up her classroom and everything else, and I'll go like a week out, and like other classrooms still look like the janitor just stacked the desks. My wife's is all set up and everything, and it's been set up for like 2 weeks. My wife is a go-getter when it comes to her preemptive stuff. She's like, I've seen teachers that would literally wait till like the day before the kids show up before they start setting up their classroom. Kim's been like there for a month doing it, and it kind of cracks me up to see, because I know
not
my
a
wife's
procrastinator.
My wife's almost to a fault the other way, where it's like, we got to do it now. It's like, relax, it'll get done. She's almost
What
the other
I
way.
enjoy are those that don't get their classrooms done and
Yeah.
they're rushing and panicking and all busy, and I'm just kicking back, going.
She sits in her chair with a beer in the hallway. She wheels her chair in the hallway with a beer and just watches them. No, I'm just kidding.
She's like, "Bye."
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So please utilize the thrift store because and it's the great thing is you get this stuff cheap, inexpensive. A lot of it's brand new or gently used stuff that probably cost 3 to 4 times what it was that what you paid for it at the thrift store. And every dime that you pay for that item goes right back to helping these pets, for these animals. Obviously, with the distemper, I'm sure vet bills are a little bit higher than normal right now because of so many distemper and other tests and things going on. The vets are, they're busy anyway. But food, I mean, and with the dogs not leaving, I imagine that drains the food supply a little bit more too, because
the chemicals that we use are not cheap,
Sure.
and they're designed for shelters
Absolutely.
and vet clinics. So when we have an outbreak, we have to make that a little bit stronger
Gotcha.
than what we would clean with it on a daily basis.
So that's expensive.
It is. It's $70 a gallon.
Yeah, and they need a lot of gallons of that.
Yes. So monetary donations to help us be able to purchase and keep purchasing these things are always
Absolutely.
going to be great.
Absolutely. Food donations, litter donations are always appreciated. Keep bringing that up. Toys as well. I always want to remind folks when it comes to dog toys, leave the pig ears and the white bones and all that
Just be
out of
safe
there.
with stuff that we can sanitize.
Yeah.
Kongs, hard plastic.
Yeah.
The tire with the ropes.
Yeah.
Because we need to be able to sanitize it every day.
Sure.
So that way.
Because of what we're
Diseases.
just talking about here. Yeah. All it takes is that tennis ball that one dog picked up and played with, and another one picks up later.
And tennis balls are great because we can wash them in a washing machine.
Yeah, they've got depending on the size dogs. My problem was every tennis ball in our house never made it to that level. They got destroyed within seconds.
It's the same with ours.
Minutes. It's gone.
Yeah.
It's the same with ours. I got one of those the bigger tennis balls that's got the rope through it.
Oh yeah.
About 32 seconds
Oh,
later,
yeah.
here's half of the tennis ball, and there's the
I
rope,
think-
and I was like,
They look at it as challenge accepted. They just go to
They do.
town.
They really do. They're like, all right.
Yeah.
One of our dogs used to unstitch baseballs. Like he would literally
Oh, wow.
unstitch it, and then you'd see like a pile of string, and then he would peel
That is
the leather off.
That's the dog version of those people that separate their M&Ms by color to eat them and all that first. That's the dog version of that. That's
Yeah.
an OCD thing.
Yeah.
It's gotta be.
Yeah. I was like, what the? Oh God.
Yeah. So that dog needs a little bit
Yes.
more attenciones, little love. But
So I would like to. I know this is a little bit early, but so last time I was here, Sean and I were talking about this comedian that wants to do a comedy show for us.
yeah.
We got it booked.
Awesome.
So it's going to be September 20th
September 20th.
at the Liberty.
All right.
They are getting our posters made up.
Okay.
Tickets are going to be sold on the Liberty's website at Ticketmaster, whatever.
Nice. So a night of comedy to benefit the Humane Society.
And we're going to have a silent auction.
Awesome. So we need some donations. We need some sponsors.
We do donations, sponsors. I've already got several items for some of the silent auctions.
Okay.
I got a really cool handbag from Roswell Livestock yesterday,
Oh, nice.
and a really nice Leatherman for men.
They do a lot of that. They donate almost every time. I know with our
They
American
do.
Legion and everything else, and the Humane
Big
Society.
R's stepping up, and I'm picking up stuff from them this weekend.
Nice.
Tractor Supply's doing stuff. Zia Guns is doing stuff.
Ooh, firearms.
Yes.
Wink, wink, nod, nod.
Yes. So my husband's like, so I was like, oh, but inevitably, I'm the one that's like, oh, let's try to get a gun. So there are other items that we're gonna try to compile several baskets and make like a date night basket,
Sure.
a spa day basket,
Usually they
a
do
bro
like
or man cave basket
usually
kind of
filled
thing.
with grilling stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or tools.
Or Westlake's doing something.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what yet. They were talking about doing an entire box filled with tools.
Nice. By the way, they have a great selection of dog and cat supplies.
do.
If you're looking for places, they have. If you're looking for all, they got a great selection there
So-
too of many places in town. But a lot of people don't think of Ace for stuff like that.
No,
They got a great selection.
They do.
Yeah.
a very good selection.
Yep.
Petco's doing stuff. We've got several places that have already agreed, but we would like to make this a throw out, knockout night.
Yeah.
And Sean is going to be the open comedian.
He's going to put on his stand-up hat again. He hasn't done that in a while, and so he's going to open.
I know. He's going to open. He said he would do it.
Good deal.
So, one of our locals.
That's right. Sean will be there, and Sean's pretty funny when you take the reins off of him. So, and
this is going to be 21 and over because
nice.
it's at the Liberty.
Good deal. So it is an adult. It's not it's date night, not family night.
Date night. Yeah.
We'll have to get tickets. Yeah. I'd like to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Come out and have some fun. But that'll be September 20th. We'll talk a lot more about it between now and then.
As soon as we have the official flyers or posters made, I will definitely get stuff for everybody.
Can you announce the comedian yet, or is that too early for that?
No, it's Clay Foley.
Okay, very good. So you can look him up and check out all the things he's done and all that.
And basically what he does is his comedy show is called Comedy to the Rescue.
Nice. He's kind of, dogs and cats are kind of his platform.
He is a retired animal cruelty investigator.
Oh, so he's seen some stuff.
Yeah. So
he's how y'all feel bad when those ASPCA commercials come on for 2 minutes? Like that's his whole life. Jeez,
yeah.
God.
So he's dedicated his retirement to raising money for shelters.
Wow.
So he's coming here the 20th, and then he's going to be in Midland on the 21st.
That'd have to jade me pretty hard after a while. I'd have zero faith in humanity after doing that job for a while. I just know me, enough. I
agree. I agree. I'd be like,
Yeah.
But we haven't done a big fundraiser in a really long time, so I'm really excited for this.
Let's face it. You've had a lot of expenses in the last year or two with the roof, with these various outbreaks, and with the renovations, and with just the day-to-day life that is the Humane Society, with people doing what they do and having to adjust for that. So it's been an expensive year for you guys. So it's time
and it's only halfway through the year.
Yeah. And let's face it, the Humane Society is it's open because of the community. It's without the people that visit the thrift store and shop and donate to that, people that make their donations of food and water and money and
when
litter
that goes
and all
away,
that.
The Humane Society goes away.
Yeah, that's what keeps the doors open.
We have to push and help and ask for donations at all events we go to because that's what keeps us going.
Sure. Yeah, you guys, you have a little bit of help from outside, but not nearly enough to keep the operation going.
No.
Especially at the volumes of which you guys do it, because, yes, we have some great other animal rescues and animal control, but none of them have the resources and facilities you guys do. And so you guys, by default, have to be that beacon in the storm for all the others there. So
we are.
Yeah. So please come support, get your tickets. Come out. You know what? Make your way to the thrift store right now and be part of the 10 o'clock club here on Wednesdays to come and shop the new stuff. Because every time you go in there and buy a new outfit or buy a new couch or a microwave, you're helping a pet be sheltered and clothed, or not clothed, but fed and taken care of.
We're going Pooh Bear style over here. We'll put a T-shirt on him and no pants.
That's right. Donald ducking it all the way around here. But yes, we're still at least another 3 weeks out before dogs will be adopted again. But cats, if you're looking for a cat for your home, or cats plural, please come on in and see our great selection of felines that are looking for homes.
His face did the quotations. If you couldn't tell that while I'm laughing.
Yeah, I went a little essy. Cats. But definitely come visit, and then
yes, please.
And of course, please, if become a member too. RoswellHumane.org. By your membership and your family and your dogs and your cats, that money again supports the Humane Society. So by you becoming a member, go do that at Roswell Humane. Sign up your pets, your dogs, your kids, your uncle, everybody. And there's perks. You get newsletters and you're invited to the meetings. But your donation as a member is what really helps to keep those pets fed and clothed and healthy. So
it does.
That's what it does. I said clothed again. I know it, but I did it anyway.
You know what? It does help keep them clothing because when you donate clothes, we use some of those clothes as bedding.
Absolutely.
So they have cushion to lay on.
That's right.
So we are clothing them essentially.
So sometimes, even when you donate a shirt that maybe not is good for selling, they can use it for those kind of
And
purposes.
sometimes we have animals that climb inside these shirt holes and pant holes.
Sometimes
and
you're
hide.
still wearing them.
Yeah. We had a kitten. We had folded up a long sleeve shirt and laid it in the kennel.
Yeah.
And we couldn't find the kitten. Well, it had crawled inside and then got inside the sleeve. And so I was all hanging out on the sleeve, and I was like, where is this cat?
Yeah.
So we're moving stuff around, and I'm like, what?
Stealth mode.
I'm like, feeling I was like, kidding.
I'll have to tell you, I don't have enough time to tell you a cat story. It was actually Lucy, a Lucy lost story that we had with that one.
Let's share it off the air.
It's too long of a story. I only got like 3 minutes before they kicked me off the radio, so I need to shut up, and it's longer than 3 minutes. But another day, another time. But good deal. But again, RoswellHumane.org is the website. Sign up there. Thrift store. Give it the hours for thrift store.
Wednesday through Saturday, 10 to 4:30.
Yes.
However, they will be closed tomorrow as well.
For the Independence Day holiday.
But we will both reopen Friday morning, 10 a.m. We're 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Yep.
And they're just 10 to 4:30.
And if you want to see the selection of dogs that are calling the Humane Society,
You can look on the website.
RoswellHumane.org. They will say, like you said, at the time, no dogs are available because of the distemper. But when that is lifted, most of the dogs there might be one or two still in quarantine because of weight or whatever, but the dogs will open back up.
Yes.
So, but good deal. Well, thank you. Enjoy your vacation. Safe travels. And we have to tell us all about it when you get back here.
I'll be sending videos.
There you go.
We're going to the Winchester Mansion.
You got to definitely tell me all about that.
Yeah.
Because that's something I want
taking our daughter.
I want to see at some point in my life. That would be something I'd like to do.
So we did San Francisco last year, so we're doing San Jose this year.
Don't fall out any doorways or nothing, because that, if you're not familiar with that house, do a history. But it's the heiress to the Winchester company, the firearm company.
Yeah.
She built this house and it's and it's kind of a mental health thing where but she believes like all the spirits of guns and this and that are haunting that thing, and so the house is built for the spirits, and there's like doorways that literally open to a wall that just is on the second floor that goes outside. It doesn't. There's stairways that go to nowhere. There's just weird stuff like that in the house, and pretty much every paranormal investigator group known to man has been in there at one point or another doing ghost things, and they all find scarier than hot garbage stuff going on.
Well, our tour's in the day, so I'm pretty sure ghosts don't play with people in the daytime.
I don't know. I see some of the ghost adventures.
My luck, I'm going to be like, oh, whoa, what's touching me?
Next thing you know, they might be grabbing a body part or something, especially got a little feisty one. You never know. But enjoy, and we'll see you when you get back.
Thank you.
All right, it is 9:58. Quick break before they kick me off the radio. Don't go away.
Attention Roswell and surrounding areas. Is your old car, truck, or SUV on life support?
Clear.
With new management and a whole new attitude, Roswell Ford makes trading up to a new Ford or quality pre-owned vehicle fast, fun, and easy. Upside down in your loan or stuck in your lease? Roswell Ford wants to get you released even if you owe thousands more than your trade is worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Right now, get huge savings with rates as low as 0% for 66 months and no payments until Labor Day. Plus, we have a great selection of low-mileage, one-owner pre-owned vehicles, all in prime condition, starting at just $10,000. Don't settle for a low-quality, overpriced clunker. Buy a quality pre-owned vehicle from Roswell Ford for a lot less. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. We've partnered with the most aggressive lenders that will push to approve you today, even with bad or no credit. Lower prices, exceptional trade-in values, and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell, or online at roswellford.com. $15.15 per thousand finance on select new Ford models with approved credit.
At New Mexico Gas Company, our priority is your safety. That's why we add a rotten egg smell to natural gas to help alert you of the presence of natural gas. So if you ever notice a rotten egg smell, it might be a natural gas leak. We recommend that you leave the area immediately, and from a safe distance, call New Mexico Gas Company at 1-888-NM-GAS-CO or 911. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. 1 in 3 snake bite victims is drunk. 1 in 5 is tattooed.
145-mile-per-hour winds. Prime Minister Andrew Holness.
Jamaica must take this hurricane